Hey, everybody, welcome to the Seal Podcast, episode number 138 for August the 12th, 2022. My name is Fraser. I'm joined on my left by Pilch.
Good evening.
And on my right by Neil.
Hello.
We do not have a Dave. He has
Can I
escaped
ask
to
something?
Wales. Yes.
Why I'm always last?
Are you?
I think so.
I think what happens is every time I introduce, I get concerned that the other guys, Pilch and Dave, are usually last, and so I try and do them first. But
So
I think I've been doing that for like 100. I think I've been doing that for 120 episodes. It just so happens I've made you last on every one. Because Pilch is more important. That's why.
As long as I know. As long as I know.
There you go. That's the real answer. We all right, gentlemen? How are we?
Bit warm.
It is bloody warm again. I'm getting fed out of it now.
It's not as bad as it was last time.
32, I think so. Oh God, no! It's not in the 40s, but low 30s is still bloody hot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
I've got my fan going next to me.
It'd be miserable winter weather before you know it, and then.
Well, I'm not funny. What did we need? Something like 12 weeks of rain, I think they said.
Really? To catch up?
To recover where we are.
Preferably not in one day.
I'm assuming you have.
If it comes in one day, it's going to be no good.
Well, they'll be moaning again, won't they? People's houses will be floating away. They'll still be saying, "Oh God, it's too wet now."
My electricity. That's all I hear right now is about the electricity bills.
Ugh, mate. Every time I look at a newspaper, it's going to be $1,000.
I mean, they're $3,500. They reckon it's going to cost next year.
Well, it said $5,000 on one of them.
At what point are you guys going to eat the rich over there?
Cheers, Arnie. That's not going to happen. It's because we're all rich, aren't we? That's why we keep voting Tories in, because we're all rich.
You all got too much money. Yeah. I don't know about that. Okay, well, anyway, it's good to be here. After all my bitching and moaning prior to the show's start, but we are here and ready to go.
Pilch is gone.
Pilch has done a runner already. He's disgusted with the podcast. I don't blame him. All right, fantasy football, Neil. It's on, right. Like Donkey Kong. There we go. That's video game related.
Sort of, I guess. Game related.
I'm pretty sure Donkey Kong is a video game.
Well, I see what you mean. Yeah, that is video game related. Where are we? Well, yes, the big kickoff of the fantasy football and the real football obviously was last weekend. So we have our first league table of the season, and someone I don't know, Chris Jackson, FCFC.
I've seen Chris Jackson's name around. I think we need to get to know him better, particularly after that first week's performance.
I think there might have been a triple captain involved in there.
Yeah,
I'm triple captain in this week.
Are you? Oof, yeah, mate. I looked. I went through. I think it was after
Haaland's playing. Who are they playing?
Bournemouth.
Who's City playing?
Bournemouth.
Right, exactly. He's going to fucking get a hat for him. Triple captain, go for it.
Might not even play. Then you might end up with your vice captain subbed in, or he'll come on for like a 5-minute cameo at the end of the match. You'll be like, bastard. 3 points.
I'm telling you,
captain.
I'm telling you, Pep plays fantasy league, and he's got you all in the palm of your hands. He knows everyone's putting him in. He's going to hold him back. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. I did not do the knee jerk. So Neil, tell us. Come on, confession time.
Confession time is, I've played my first wild card of the season. After
first
one game week.
Knee jerk. Everything
has to be changed.
Of course it is a knee jerk. It's the first week,
6 players. First week.
Right.
Half your squad.
Panic.
Pretty much.
He just
not panicking.
Full on. It is panic, mate. There's no other way to describe it.
It's not panic. What happened was Friday morning, I was pretty happy with my team and my squad. Then I listened to the official FPL podcast and got influenced into changing some of my players. And then I watched a few of the games over the weekend and went, I think I may have made some bad choices here. Because A, I put Marcus Rashford in and Man United look like the worst team in the Premier League. Sorry, Arnie. That I watched, at least, anyway. And then, obviously, as the weekend progressed, Man City was the last game of the weekend, wasn't it? And the third Erling Haaland looks like he's an absolute beast and is going to score about 100 goals. So I thought I'd made some bad choices, among other things. So surgery was performed on the squad. But as a result of my surgery, early Sunday night surgery, I've gained 0.4 million of squad value in this week.
The cost of Haaland must have gone through the roof, right?
I got the transfers in on the key players early before their prices went up. So I don't feel like it was a bad choice in the end, because 4 of the players that I put in have gone up 0.1 million already. So
right. Okay, yeah. So that's fair enough. So like if I wanted to buy them, they're going to be more expensive for me.
Yeah.
Right,
so if you wanted those 4 players,
wild cards?
you need a 500,000 spare, obviously, already. You get 2 wild cards, plus there's unlimited transfers during the World Cup this year. So I thought...
Can't you change a player every week for free anyway?
Yes, but you can't change 6 players.
Why don't you just do one at a time rather than waste?
It's not a waste, is it?
Because he's panicked, Pilch.
Not panicked.
He's panicked and he's going to say he's
I realised the error of my ways is what happened. I went, fuck this, I'm going pretty much back to my squad that I had Friday morning, except it's got Haaland in it. And a few other choices that I've made.
I saw on Twitter, there was somebody we follow on Twitter. He's already taken a 4-point hit this week to do transfers to get this Haaland in, or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
That's just ludicrous. It's just, I mean,
it's not ludicrous. You obviously haven't watched the game. You still haven't watched Man City.
Mate, as current champion, I think I have some,
Do you know who else won the real leagues?
All I'm saying is...
Look at Man United. Just look at Man United. They won it for years and years and years. And then look at them now.
Right, but the funny thing is, you sit there and you say, but, you're trying to convince me the argument,
I'm not. I don't need to convince you.
On something that hasn't happened. No. Anyway, look. The point is, you say you haven't knee-jerked. I say you knee-jerked. Pilch, do you think he's knee-jerked and panicked?
Yeah, of course he has.
Right, that's 2 against 1. Thank you. Right, we're not taking crazy pills.
I'm just
here.
correcting a massive error. Right. Okay. I couldn't put Haaland in without costing me points because I didn't have Harry Kane to take out. No, I would have lost.
I mean, this is the great
16
thing about
16 points this week if I'd have not taken my wild card.
This is the great thing about Fantasy League and why I love it, right? It's because the thing
it's
I hope
you
for now...
just fucking take the piss out of me constantly.
You like to take the piss. We all like to take the piss out of everyone.
That's true.
Right? So don't try and be all like it's only me bullshit, right?
Are you top of your
Hopefully
family?
I'll be taking the piss next week.
Well, hopefully you are. But this is the best thing about it is like instead of hoping that my team does well, it's more the fact that I hope Haaland does
your team
all this weekend.
No. I've got triple captain Haaland.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I wish you well on that, but at the same time, no. Have you've
so you
triple
got rid of Harry Kane then, Bilch?
Oh, I've still got him and Sonny.
What did you take
Salah?
A hit then?
No, I had Haaland anyway. I've just made him captain this time.
Oh, I've only got one Spurs player now. I've only got one
see.
Spurs player, and it's not Kane or Son. So
is it Hulaveski or whatever his name is?
Might be.
Kulusevski, yeah, I wanted him.
Yeah, I made a mistake not putting him in, I think.
Yeah.
But
well, he's gone up 0.1 million.
But I haven't changed any of my team this week. I'll bank the free transfer, and then next week I'll. So my tactic is to always have a transfer, at least 2 transfers every week, just in case.
Well, how's that work? So you're only allowed to use one. You get to 2, and then you're only allowed to use 1 a week.
You have to go a week without, and so now I'll have 2 free transfers next week, right?
Christian asked if I brought in Salah. The answer to that question is a big fat no. So I have my money elsewhere.
Yeah, right. Anyway, my tactic is then, right? So you need to have 2, or for me, this is me, current champion. This is how I work. Okay. Is that you need to have the 2 free transfers in. I'm absolutely hate spending money on transfers like points. And if you keep 2 transfers at all every going in every week, you can always do an emergency takeout, like with 2 transfers, right? You can adjust. If you have to do an emergency takeout of 1 player, you're screwed if you can't afford somebody decent. But if you have 2 transfers, you can then maybe bin off somebody else and get someone cheaper to put toward the better person. Anyway, that's my tactic.
All right. Have you got Jesus?
It's probably wrong. And I should just use my wild card and all my triple captains and everything in the first week.
You can't use them all in the same week. You can only use 1 a week.
I know.
Anyway, I feel comfortable that I've made the right decision. I might not feel that after the weekend when all the players that I had. Right, can I tell you who I've taken out?
Sure.
Right, Jamie Vardy got an assist, had no shots in the entire game. Not even a shot, let alone one on target. So he went because I was like, that's shit. Marcus Rashford, Man United, looked awful.
Right.
Can't see them turning that round that quick.
Oh, come on. It's Man United, not fucking Manchester Boys School.
Mate, they weren't that impressive in pre-season, I didn't think. It was like, that's the one that I got mugged on in listening to the podcast. Oh, Marcus Rashford is so cheap. He's going to be great. It could be a brilliant season. Yeah, that didn't happen. Well, that hasn't happened, obviously.
And I'm not saying you're wrong. You could be right.
We'll see, won't we?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And Kulusevski or whatever his name is as well.
I've brought him in. So I've binned off Son. Binned off...
What?
Yeah, can't afford him.
Binned off
Too
joint
expensive.
Golden Boot winner last year.
Yeah, okay.
That's
Too
right.
expensive. Well, because I'm going to have this season's Golden Boot winner, obviously, so I don't really care about last season anymore.
Can you imagine if he gets a knock?
I'm not living in the past. Yeah,
he gets
if
a knock
get
in
a knock,
training.
I can put Kane in, can't I?
Then his value plummets.
I didn't have that.
Offloads.
Didn't have that option. Like, I didn't have the proper top dollar striker that I could just go, oh, if one of them gets injured, I can always just put the other one in. Because I didn't have that option because I didn't have one in the first place. So, my top tip for a big price faller coming up, I reckon Gabriel Jesus is going to get transferred out a shitload if he doesn't score this weekend. Because he's gone down about 5% ownership already. So I'm surprised he hasn't dropped to 0.1. Yeah, we'll see.
No, you won't. Neil spoken. That top draw striker is not going to put any goals in the back of the net.
I've got.
He scored 4 goals in one game last season. Other than that, I don't think he did a lot.
Jesus.
You've got what? Kane, Haaland, and Jesus.
Kane, Son, Haaland, and Jesus.
Okay. So you're hoping that they do really well then?
Well, they're going to have to, aren't they? Because my midfielders are absolute shit. Because I've got Diaz, Murphy.
Who?
Who the other one is? Newcastle.
Who's Murphy?
I don't know. There's only £4 million player I could find.
Jesus was awesome last week, says Christian. Just didn't get any points. 2 points. Don't care how good he plays. He got 2 points.
Spurs scored 4 goals.
Yeah, and no Kane or Son.
No. And we never used any of our 5 new players.
Well, Perisic come on towards the end. Yeah. Top of the league, mate. Get that screen grabbed.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, it's possible I could be eating my words. As usual, I think with these things, it takes a few weeks, and once the dust settles, there's always at least 1 or 2 standout.
Can't look at the table for the first 10 weeks, can you?
No.
Something like that, anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway,
okay.
We'll see. Changing your team every week till it.
I won't be playing another wild card. I can assure you of that.
Well, what happens if none of them perform this weekend and you start to have panic part 2?
No, I won't be. I can't panic part 2. Now I feel like the players I've put in look like they're going to do okay based on what happened in week 1. And if they don't do great in week 2, I feel like they're still looking good enough to perform throughout the season. So
why didn't you just enter 2 teams, Neil, and then you could have just gambled on
Because
one.
that would just be
doing
cheating, wouldn't it?
half decent. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of people with your surname in that fucking.
Well, they're not all
league.
me. Trust me.
Well, we don't
I
know
don't look
that,
at the
do
others.
we?
Well, I do.
Okay,
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Coming up.
footy's back,
Yeah.
people, isn't it?
Good
Great?
start to the season. Makes it a bit more interesting having a few more teams in the league as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, so we have. Let's just go back just before we leave that.
Hold
Then,
on.
so we have just do the table again. Just give us a quick
I'm just
rundown of
pressing
the
the
table.
right button before. So
Maybe
we've got
not every.
Welsh
Yeah, go on.
Wizards, Paul Davies in second place, 17 points behind top. Into Your Mother, Marty Grease, Fish Lips in third. Good debut effort there. Smith Rowboat, Sam Hockley in fourth. How far do you want to go? I'll give you the current bottom team is Ice Cold Zodder from the Garcast crew, who's obviously got too many Nottingham Forest players in his team.
Does he have any? He doesn't have any Notts Forest players.
I don't know. Well, they're all Christians
Oh yeah, he
boys,
does.
aren't they?
Yes,
Because
Lingard.
they're all obviously they're all on the Forest train. And,
Right.
I don't know who's playing for Forest. Who even knows who's going to play for Forest? And they've got so many new players. It's like having a whole new squad. So we'll see how that works out, I guess.
His
But,
team
yeah.
doesn't look so bad. He won't be on the bottom for long.
No. Early days.
It is. But you wouldn't know it. The apocalypse is upon us.
Yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Probably nothing to go on the Twitch, YouTube, Discord stuff. Anything that we need to know?
Not
Okay,
playing
let's
Elden
move on
Ring
to
anymore, so there's no YouTube videos.
Okay, I think we're all in agreement that YouTube and Discord is a thing to be resurrected. But as we come out the summer, for the
Discord's
tweets,
been quite busy, I think, wasn't it? Was it this week or last week? I don't know. There's a lot of
yeah.
been a lot of
Oh,
fancy
yeah,
football chat in the Discord, so yeah.
Yeah, there's been quite a bit of fancy football chat, quite a bit of car stuff. I do need to probably just give a shout out to Scott Patton, who was talking about his Mini Cooper, and then I talked about how uncomfortable they were. I didn't mean to rile up any backs there, Scott. I hope I wasn't taken the wrong way, but fuck, we haven't talked about this because Pilch, you're a Mini person.
Mm-hmm.
I had my sister's Mini Cooper when I was in London, and it was such a hard ride. And I don't know, is that what Coopers are like? Like, I don't know.
Well, it's a bit.
I think it's
do you know
how
what
shit the roads
registration-
are,
What year
isn't
it
it?
was?
It's an early one, 2007
Well, yeah, because I had
or 2008.
Was it a Cooper or a Cooper S or a
Just
John
a
Cooper
a
S?
Mark II. I had a Mark I Cooper, and that was rock hard. But I've got a Mark 2 point and a bit Cooper S now, and it seems a lot more comfortable. It's a lot softer and more comfortable than my Fiesta ST. That thing is fucking seriously vicious. You hit a pothole in there, it sounds like the fucking whole wheel's falling off.
My Fiesta,
yeah.
my Fiesta 1.4 diesel sounds like that when you hit a fucking pothole.
Probably is falling off.
It's not the suspension. I don't think it's just the fact that it's a fucking Fiesta.
I mean, they are quite. They're quite hard. They're not a Jag for fuck's sake. That's what you've been used to.
I think
Yeah.
I have got soft.
And
Or
you haven't got
something.
used to our.
There's
You haven't
like
been
air
driving
gas
on our
suspension.
roads, have you?
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't.
Our
I
roads
just.
are horrendous.
Yeah, I don't
That
know.
don't help. But
Yeah,
not
maybe.
overly. I've had a lot more stiffer cars than the Mini.
Yeah.
My old SR Astra was
Just
like
your
a
perspective
fucking
of
bone
it, I think.
shaker.
So,
Yeah, I mean, when I took it for a burn around the back lanes, and when I was sort of focused and driving it hard around the back lanes, then it was fucking, man, that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
They are good little cars.
Yeah, it was really, really a lot of fun.
I was
But then
looking
when
at
I was
cars
sort
this
of
morning.
when I was just sort of doing distance, and then I, like you say, hit a pothole, I was like, holy shit, put my fillings back in.
Yeah, you have to swerve nowadays. There's so many potholes now. You'd have to you drive twice as far, just avoiding all the fucking holes in the road now.
All right, I believe it.
But,
Sorry,
yeah, I
no,
was
you were
looking
gonna
at
say
cars this
something.
morning. Been
Oh,
looking
yeah?
at cars. I spent several hours looking at cars because
Oh yeah,
Oh, you tell us what cars you've been looking at, and we'll judge them like you do.
I've looked at a lot of cars. Okay, I have looked at some Mini Coopers, and
Mhm.
near just
Ooh.
down the road from me, someone one of a dealer is selling an Abarth 500.
Oh, can you get your scissors in the boot?
Yeah. No, well, actually, to be fair, I'm not sure you could get the scissors in the boot. It's not a very fucking big boot. Which looks like it could be a bit of fun. But anyway,
Our baths
there was
is cool. They are good, mate. It depends on how tall are you.
I'm fucking short ass, so I ain't gonna have a problem sitting.
Oh, you'll be all right then, as long because the seats are high. The seats don't go very low down, so you're
Right, okay.
sitting like on top rather than in. So if
Yeah,
you're
see, I
tall,
feel
then
like it's probably. I did read, and it was like it's quite a fun car, but if you really start throwing it around a bit, it's a bit like top heavy. It's not like
and it's very
it's not like a
tiring
Mini.
as well.
It's not wide.
It's not
It's
very
not wide enough.
relaxing.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Well, he doesn't need relaxing. The cash key is the cruiser, right? That's where you got to eat the miles.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
The QQ.
Qashqai, anyway.
there was a Fiesta ST I looked at. Can't remember what year it was.
What year?
2011.
Oh.
2011, I think it was.
Okay, Mark 2.75.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
That'll be all right. Looks all right. I like my Fiesta. All right. It's got a shit engine in it, but I can tell just driving my shitty Fiesta that if I had a sporty Fiesta, it would fucking feel pretty good. Because it's a nice ride. It's like a nice sporty ride. Like it's quite low. It's got well good like feel on the road. But I could throw mine into a corner and it'd be all right. It just wouldn't be able to accelerate. It's got no power.
Now, what about going a little bit bigger? Maybe do they still
Right,
have the Focus?
okay.
Is that still a car?
There is a Focus around. And I'll
Focus
tell
is
you what.
bloody huge.
It's an Astra Focus, whatever in it. But like they've got these 1 litre turbos, and they're like 150 horsepower. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you really need a big
It's
engine.
technology for you, mate.
It's fucking crazy. I was like, what, 150 horsepower from a 1 litre engine? What the hell? But then there's like other cars with like a 0.9 litre engines with like 60 horsepower. So it's like, eh. But yeah, so I was looking at some old Beamers and some Mercs as well. There's quite a few.
Oh, come on. There you go. Now you're talking. Get yourself in
for
an
like
old Merc.
fucking $5,500, you can buy an old M3. I was like, that could be a bit expensive though. Like
Yeah,
it's
as long as you've got
fine
another
buying one.
$5,500 in the bank.
Yeah,
ready
to
for when it
fucking
goes
fix it.
wrong, you'll be
Yeah,
all right.
exactly. That's the problem. I was like, yeah, it'd be kind of cool. I quite fancy having a big.
Yeah, but
a
you don't
bigger
even
car.
need to go that loopy with the Beamer. You get something like a
Yeah.
a 328 or something.
Yeah, well, there's like M Sport versions,
330s.
2 litre M
330s,
Sports that are still all right.
Yeah, that'd be nice. You just want something, yeah.
But I've
Responsive.
basically
would be
been told
nice.
to fucking not even think about it. So it was like
What?
there was an
Oh,
S3
why
going.
bother to have this conversation when the missus has already vetoed
Yeah,
it?
she's fucking poo-pooed it. I was like, oh. She's
Oh,
like, you don't
dear.
need a new car. I was like, everyone
bike.
fucking hates
Get a
my
bike.
car. I'm
Who
not. I can't
hates your
get a
car?
bike. Everyone in the house hates my car, but it's got great aircon. That's why I like my car. It's got the best aircon, and it's got a heated front windscreen, which is awesome.
Right.
Actually, mine got a heated
Excellent.
front windscreen. That's good. I'm going
It is
looking forward
fucking
to
good.
trying that out in winter.
You'll be fucking amazed. It takes seconds to clear your front windscreen. It's great.
I did have one once before, many years ago on a Ford Mondeo. Had it, and it was one of the best features I've ever seen on a car.
My Cabriolet had
certain-
it in 1988, so it's not not exactly new.
No.
I think it's patented by Ford or something. The heated front screen. Something.
It's run out, I
Oh, is it?
believe, but they've still got some deal that they're the only ones that make them. I don't know what it is. Other people, because
It might be a specific
their
type.
patent is to have the elements in the.
Yeah, it's
in the actual
really thin
glass.
element in the glass. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think other companies do now do a heated screen, but it's not.
Yeah, a
with the
different
elements in it.
technology.
Yeah.
But that is a great feature. I was really tempted today though that I found a red Golf 2013. It was a 2 litre diesel. I kind of wanted to get rid of a diesel, but it wasn't a GT diesel. It was a GT, but not the GTD. So it had 150 horsepower, and it was like 0 to 60 in 8.6 seconds. I was like, that's pretty nippy. It's not like super fast, but The proper GT diesel goes an extra. It's like a less second quicker on the 0 to 60. I was like, probably won't
It's
even
fast
notice.
enough to get past all them 1.4 Fiestas.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, that was only 20 quid tax as well. The GT 2-litre diesel. It was
Bargain.
like, that's the same as my Fiesta. So that's where they were doing the swindle. They were doing the swindle on the fucking emissions tests.
Just go tell your missus how it's going to be and just go get your fucking car, dude. Come on.
Get your car.
You were like,
He's looking over there now. Is she in the room? She's in the room,
no, she's not in the room. We're in the corridor anyway. Can't you see? I'm in the corridor.
Yeah, she's kicked you out. You're in a hotel.
Okay, we have a tweet from Marty. He says, "Afternoon, all. Hope you're all okay and trying to keep cool. This week I've been playing Gran Turismo 7 on PS5. The gameplay and how it handles are amazing. So my question to you is, do you think driving games have evolved to their pinnacle now? Cheers and much love."
I don't think they do anything new in the last, since the Forzas and of the likes come out. There hasn't been anything particularly innovative, has there?
The controller on Gran Turismo 7 is definitely good. That's obviously controller related, but it does look pretty fucking good.
I don't know.
I like microtransactions going. Pay to win on the Gran Turismo.
How's my what?
How's it going?
Pay to win on Gran Turismo.
Oh, I don't have to pay to win. I'm still doing. Are we talking about my games now? We're going to talk about it in a bit. We'll talk about it in a bit. We'll talk about it in a bit.
Pinnacle-wise, I don't think... It's funny, actually, because I was watching a video this week of Gran Turismo 4, I think. God, did that look shonky compared to where we are these days.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think we're at the pinnacle. I think it's very easy for us to look at like the latest Gran Turismo or the latest Forza and go, it's amazing. Like, it's practically real world graphics. I don't think anything's going to real world graphics until, you go take a look outside. We're still not real world graphics. Are they amazing? Yes. But are we at the pinnacle? I don't think so. Not yet. We still have a way to go.
If they brought Gran Turismo to PC, that could be pretty amazing. With the newer graphics cards that are coming out later this year. I mean, I've got a pretty fucking beastie graphics card, which is more powerful than my PS5. But
more powerful than your Fiesta.
Yeah, more likely. Fucking gets warmer. But yeah, I think there's definitely room to improve, but it's pretty fucking good as it goes at the minute. I think, we've got the new Forza coming out, Racer version, like the Forza Motorsport, whatever it's going to. I think it's probably just going to be called.
I'm
Forza
ready for
Motorsport.
one of them now.
Yeah, we should buy a PS5 and get Gran Turismo.
Yeah, that's so 600 quid to play Gran Turismo, or get.
Well, you'll have a PS5 that will play other games as well.
Well,
you don't have to pay 600 quid.
Excellent new games you've played in a minute.
But yeah, I think. Well, I think the absolute pinnacle will be when you can stick a headset on your head, and it looks like real life.
And it doesn't weigh 8 pounds.
Well, yeah, probably, yeah. Well, just put a car helmet, crash helmet on, and then you literally will feel like you're in a racing car. But it just has a screen where the visor is.
Yep.
There you go. That solves that problem, doesn't
it? Okay. Pilch, anything to add?
No.
Okay. Marty, thanks very much. Good to hear from you, mate. A couple of things from the Discord. Arnie Army, he doesn't give us any text questions normally, does he? Not often. Anyway.
Not very often, but no.
Arnie, friend of the show, says, how do you feel about exclusive games? I just downloaded Spider-Man on Steam. I feel that console exclusives should be auto-released on PC because they are out of the war.
Are they, though? Because Xbox are quite happy to sell their Game Pass for PC. Sony are out of the war for PC, but Xbox ain't, are they? Yeah.
But
Mm.
there's definitely more stuff coming to
deep
PC
now.
from PlayStation. So I mean,
Mm.
they've had their pretty, like 3 of their massive PS4 games now are on PC. God of War, Horizon, and now Spider-Man. And Spider-Man is supposed to be pretty amazing on PC, even better than the PS5 version. So
Really?
Hmm.
Mm.
you can
Well,
play it in ultra wide monitors and stuff, all that sort of crazy stuff that you can do on PC that you can't do on consoles.
Right. I mean, obviously the PC market is big enough that they feel like they're going to have to release them anyways, right? So
Well, it's just money, isn't it? It's like it costs. Like I think what their PlayStation seems to be doing is getting other people who are like PC specialists to convert their games onto the PC.
right.
So you get a decent port. They've done they've not released a game on PC that's been shit, like a shit version. It's been like a better version than you could get on PlayStation. So they're not, they're adding value to their games. Whereas I know like quite often we get games on PC that aren't, because of the fucking diverse fucking equipment. Sometimes they run really well, and other times they don't run that well compared to the console versions. So sometimes they're a shitload better, and other times they're nowhere near as good because, for whatever reason, they haven't got the expertise to make it work on the PC because there's so much different technology involved, or some of this technology might be missing that you can't account for with these new SSDs on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. Not everyone's got a super fast SSD in their PC. So, but I think we'll see a lot more over time. I don't know if they'll come on the same day that they release on PlayStation, but hopefully they get a bit closer to the actual release.
Yeah. I mean, they've got to hold something back, right, to give the consoles a boost. I mean, that's the market
Like I say,
they're in, right?
if something like Gran Turismo starts coming out on PC, then that's I can't see them leaving anything else behind, really.
Oh.
I take issue with the fact that Arnie just got Spider-Man on Steam, because that means he's going to have his head buried in that, because he made me buy fucking Raft last week, which we still haven't played, on the promise of a game of that. I'm still waiting to start that. You made me buy that.
Well, you could.
I can't refund it because
I
can't
You could have
refund
bought a
it.
different game that we could have played.
Like what?
I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about it in a little while.
Thanks, Arnie. Appreciate it. Somebody called Bertha. I don't know who that is. Of course, I jest. That's Dave. Out on his dirty weekend right now. He says, on a similar note, how do you feel about platform exclusive items, skins, maps, etc.? Do you feel they reward your choice of platform purchased on, or punish you for not buying on a particular platform?
This sucks.
Yeah.
I don't think it really matters.
Absolutely sucks.
Does it matter that much?
Yeah, it does, because you're paying the same price for the same, supposedly the same game, and then you're not getting all the same content. That sucks. That's shit. You can have exclusive games. That's fine. But exclusive content for a specific game that's available elsewhere, that is wrong.
Yeah,
I think that when we get exclusive COD things, when the acquisition finally goes through.
But I don't think it will.
Skins and guns and shit.
My take on that.
Pay for it. You'll just get it in Game Pass. That's the only change that's going to be.
They'll have skins and shit though as well.
A Master Chief skin.
Loads of stuff. Yeah,
you can't though, because it's all cross-platform, isn't it? So they can't do that. You can't have Master Chief running around on the PlayStation.
Is it though? If everything you buy on Xbox also appears on PlayStation.
No. Well, if someone's got the Master Chief skin in the game, what are they going to look like on the PlayStation? Yeah. They're going to put a different skin.
It doesn't matter what they look like on the PlayStation.
Okay, well but that's a licensing juggling. I mean, as a particular example, it's a bit, I don't like it, because I feel if you are someone who plays a lot of, say, like say like Pilch is the Warzone addict amongst us, right? And he's playing Warzone on Xbox all the time. And he loves it so much he buys every battle pass. I'm talking about me and Valorant, by the way. This is just I'm trying to disguise it. But I'm using Pilch as an example because Valorant's not on other platforms. But
Not yet.
if he plays Warzone on Xbox, he grinds away, gets the battle passes, gets all the skins, throws all this money at the game, and then finds out and is really like dedicated to having everything that he can have on it. And then finds out that there's a load of shit if you have it on the other platform, stuff you can't get. Like that's a bit of a kick in the teeth to have stuff available in a game that's not available to you, right? I don't even know if that's what Neil was trying to say at the start anymore. Did say at the
Well,
start.
we had things with Destiny where you could only get certain dungeons were available on the PlayStation version, and the deal with Call of Duty was always, well, when it was on Xbox primarily, it was always you get the map packs like a month early or whatever, and then it switched to the same deal basically on PlayStation. You just get stuff earlier, but all of the content did come out. You just had to wait for it.
Right.
But like
Which
on
is
Destiny,
okay.
there was literally stuff that you couldn't play on Xbox. That was you paid, like I say, you paid the same price for the same game, except there was stuff on the PlayStation that you could not get on the. It wasn't on the PC order. Actually, it might not have been Destiny 2, but it wasn't on the Xbox. But yeah, like Mark says in the chat, different skins is all right, but different content is not. You can have your skins because this doesn't make any difference to the game. But if you've literally got maps that aren't available and stuff like that, that's totally shit.
Like I say, if it's a time thing for a couple of months, like PlayStation have COD for a while, then that's fair enough, I suppose. You've got
Depends
to
how
get
much
people to
they're
buy
paying.
them bloody thing. Well, that's it, isn't it?
Not like
where does the money
Activision
come
need
from?
Xbox or PlayStation money, really, is it?
I don't know. What do they do? Well, no, they won't, will they? It'll be Xbox soon anyway.
Well,
It'll be
Xbox
Microsoft.
will be taking PlayStation money for Call of Duty. So,
Oh yeah, they're going to love taking that money as well. It's still going to be the most popular game on PlayStation, and all that money's going to Xbox. I love it.
Well, less 30% of it, or whatever.
Yeah, obviously.
Let's read Mark, because Mark answered after this. I'm guessing all this is connected. So Mark said, I despise exclusive vaulted content. How would you deal with it from a production point of view?
I don't know.
Anyone? From a production point of view. I don't know. That's he's got me there. What's vaulted? What's vaulted content?
Like,
content
is what they've done with a Destiny example again is where like the game that you bought at the beginning is not the same game anymore because where they'd added new content to the game got too big, so they chopped a load of content out. So that's where they've vaulted content. Like they've just taken stuff that was in the game and it's now not in the game.
Right.
So what would be worse is if all that stuff is in the game and they just literally block it for them. So the development's done, but everybody's got the exact same version of the game, but then they've got stuff that just doesn't appear on the PlayStation or doesn't appear on the PC. The fact that it's there would piss me off more, and all they've done is just fucking blocked you from accessing it. Because I can't believe they would do two totally different versions of the game, and then, or this is the game, and then they make a whole new load of stuff. If they do an update, it's probably pushing all that shit to the PlayStation as well as the Xbox. But they just don't. It just doesn't appear, doesn't show up. It's probably in the code in somewhere, because I can't believe they'd go to do two totally different sets of code. So that's worse. It's probably there. Stuff's probably there anyway. Like that you said about whatever the Destiny stuff or whatever it was. It's probably in the game. Just you can't access it from a PlayStation. Yeah, that'll piss you off more, knowing that it was there, and all they have to do is just press a little button and give it to you.
I mean, but I don't think you download that content to your machine. Like, but basically, they probably just literally do have to basically just press
I
a
don't know.
button
Have
for
you
it to
seen the
work.
size of the COD updates?
Yeah.
150 fucking gig every time.
Yeah, that's why it gets uninstalled.
They just literally push everything.
Yeah, I
Mark,
don't know. COD's huge.
Mark has some extra here. He says, how do you feel when mechanics are added to games that don't gel, like RPG elements being added to Assassin's Creed, seemingly only to sell leveled loot for real money?
I don't know.
It's
It's
been added
difficult.
after the game.
No, it was like where they changed
If-
Assassin's Creed, didn't they? When Origins came out.
Yeah. But it doesn't.
That's when all the RPG stuff kind of came into the game, and you started leveling
That's
up.
the way things going. They've got to shoehorn some extra ways of getting money.
Some people really liked it. Some people liked it
Well-
because it was getting a bit tired.
Yeah, the first thing that jumps to my mind is that Yakuza Like a Dragon, right? Because that went a little bit sideways compared to how this
Well, that went
series
into a
is.
full-on RPG, didn't it?
Right.
Turn-based RPG.
Right, but the game is
from a
brilliant.
brawling action game. Yeah.
You know, and so it was a success. I'm sure it pissed a ton of people off. I don't know. I never was really. I wasn't. Didn't follow
I
that,
don't know,
but-
but there was Judgment and Lost Judgment came out. You know, they were like Yakuza style games with a different perspective because you were a detective. So you still get that action in a different game, but Yakuza just like You Like a Dragon was probably one of the best reviewed games like of the Yakuza series. All of them have done very well, I'd say, generally in the reviews. But Yakuza Like a Dragon was definitely up one of the top ones because I just totally changed the game, but kept all of the fucking crazy shit. You still walk around like Yakuza, but it's every time you get in a battle, it's now a turn-based RPG rather than a brawler.
Right.
Action.
Well, I guess the answer is if it works, it's okay. If it doesn't, then it's no good.
I mean, that did gel, but effectively, didn't it, with the game? It's because like the character, the whole thing with the Like a Dragon is the guy's obsessed with Dragon Quest, isn't he? The main character's obsessed with Dragon Quest, which was a turn-based RPG. So that's the whole fucking spin they took on that game. They just like all the battles then became turn because he was just completely obsessed with that game as a kid. That's how they fucking made that into the story and changed the game.
Right.
But you know, you still can't beat an old Yakuza beat the shit out of people game. Like they're still there. You can still go and play them.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Mark, Arnie, Dave, and Marty for the questions. We appreciate that. Let's move on to what we've been doing. I'll start, shall I?
Go on.
I've kept up the swimming, which I didn't mention last week. I just wanted to point that out. I'm still going 3 times a week.
Wow.
Peach is
that is
my
commitment.
resident. Peach
How much
is
do
my
you
fellow
swim?
swimmer. So
I've got a swimming story.
I swim half an
You
hour.
do
That's
yours
it.
first.
So yeah, I get.
Do you
get
know
in.
how far that is?
I don't.
Lengths?
I don't.
You just
You're
swim
getting
until
going
you
just
further.
swim.
You've been counting your lengths to see if you're going further than you were.
No, I'm definitely. It's easier. It's definitely getting easier. I think this week was the first time that I went, oh, yeah, I feel that. I can definitely feel like I'm making some progress, right? You know, actually feel some up in my shoulders and my arms or whatever like that. It's
Do you breaststroke mainly, or
mainly
bit of
breaststroke. Yeah,
No, just swims.
mainly breaststroke. I had to venture into some crawls today. Oh yeah, this was my beef, right? So sometimes it gets a little bit busy, so you have to share lanes, and I'm okay with that. And then, but this lady came in to share the lane with me today, and she was a much slower swimmer. She's there all the time, and I'm okay with that too, because you know, like you sort of. But I kept catching up to her, and then she'd stop right at the end of the swimming pool. She always took a little break before she turned around and came back the other way, whereas I just sort of keep going back and forth. And I would be catching up to her, and she was at the end. And then just before I got to the end, she set off, which was no good to me because I would turn around and then I would be right behind her and unable to go past her, right? And so, like, it just baffled me.
just say,
it's like, what?
love, please, can you just wait till can I just go in front of you, please? Because until I catch you up again.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
playing thrill on the golf course.
But it was almost, yeah, exactly. But it was almost like she just, yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
She's doing it on purpose.
No, I know she was doing a pro. She just didn't realize what how that it didn't work, right? And the other thing as well is that this was I think the first time I've swum in the outside lane, right against right against the side of the pool. And when you have to pass people, you can't utilize underneath the rope on the wall side. So you end up having to do this like paddle swim with just one, like your Nemo with
Yeah,
like a with only one flipper. It's so yeah. Anyway, so today's swim was not great, but it was all right, So,
Do you not
but
have
yeah,
speed-based lanes, or is it just one
yeah,
lane for lane and swimming?
yeah, but no, I just get in a lane. Fuck it, whatever. I think this was the medium.
Maybe you need to move up to the faster lane.
I need to move up to the fast. Maybe she should not be in the medium though.
oh, fucking tell her next time.
I gotta be nice to these ladies. I made
I wouldn't. I'd say, wait, there's a lane over there for you lot.
No, I plan on going. I plan on going there every week. 3 times a week. I'm gonna just keep my
She's
nose
probably been
clean.
going for years.
I'm keeping
you're
my nose
rude.
clean. Yeah, that's it. You don't never know either.
Gotta-
I've just
gotta
kicked
watch
the
the,
door down. Oi, move out of my lane.
Watch the etiquette, the swimming pool etiquette.
Have you been swimming then, Pilch?
Yeah, I've been this week. I went a couple of times, just literally just like once or twice, but I've started proper this week. Been going at 7 in the morning for an hour swimming.
Nice. Oh, an hour is a good. Yeah.
I'm only doing about 30, 35 lengths. Well, I'll tell you a story. I went swimming a lot. I went for 3 months. It's probably 18 months ago.
I remember that.
I started off doing swam for half an hour, and I was doing 20 lengths, which is 25-meter pool. And then after 3 months of going every day, 3 times a week, I was doing 30 lengths in 20 minutes. So I switched it around. I did a little stint going to the gym last year. I did some weights and did a little bit of rowing a couple of 3 times a week. So I'm not unfit. But I weigh, every time I get to 14 stone, I think, oh, fuck it, now I've got to do something because I need to lose a stone.
That's
it normally takes me about 3 weeks to lose it.
Yeah. Okay.
And then 3 months to lose it. I lose a stone, a little bit more. Gets to Christmas. It's that time of year. I'm thinking, if I'm 14 stone now, what the fuck am I going to be at Christmas? So this is the time of year I start thinking, right, I need to do something.
Right.
But I'm not unfit. I've started, Lisa needs to lose a bit of weight. So we're going together, which is quite nice because it's a bit of a lonely thing just swimming away. So we're going together. But
you keep telling yourself that, but you're going swimming with your missus.
Even when I hadn't done anything, like I said, I could do 20 lengths in half an hour. I'm not a fast swimmer. I'm not massive. I'm not super fit, but when we started on Monday, I did 2 lengths at the normal speed that I would do, and I had to stop and get out because I could not get my breath. And I'm putting it down to COVID because I cannot.
Yeah.
I'm not tired. I'm not achy.
Yeah.
I just cannot get my breath. So I sit on the side for a couple of, I'm that person that's waiting at the end, just sitting there because I just can't.
Yeah.
I just can't get my breath. So
I can believe that, mate. Because I didn't when I went straight into swimming from not doing anything, and I could still go for half an hour. I could still go without stopping. Not very fast, mind you, but so yeah, you must have taken a hit then with that COVID.
I do 2 lengths fast swimming, and then I wait, and Lisa catches me up, and then I go off again, and I do 2 lengths, and I stop again. It's just horrendous.
If it is the COVID, it'll be interesting to see how you can whether you can help improve that, right? I suppose you can.
But I did 30 lengths this morning.
Oh, that's good.
So that took me about 40 minutes. So it's still twice as slow as it's taken me twice as long as it did when I was getting the hang of it. But
you like me?
Just being out of breath.
I get there and I know I'm going to do half an hour. Absolutely, no less than half an hour is my goal, right? No shortcuts,
Yeah.
anything. Otherwise, that's the path to the dark side.
Yeah. Well,
The first 5
started
minutes
Famously so.
are
you
horrendous
go,
every
yeah, you go
time.
and you think, oh, yeah, you just think,
They
Jesus
go,
Christ,
the first
what am I
5
doing?
minutes are like half an hour in themselves. And then
Yeah.
suddenly, once you get past that 5-10 minute mark, it just flies by. I don't know. You get into some sort of swimming
But you don't
trance.
count. See, I count.
Yeah, I'll start. I'll try
I'm
and start
counting, and I'm
counting.
looking at and I look at the clock at the same time, so I know roughly how many I should do in a certain time.
Yeah.
I did
Might
30
watch
lengths
all
today.
track more swimming.
It took me nearly 45 minutes to do 30 lengths. So if I can get that down to, if I can do 30 lengths in 30 minutes, I'll be happy with that.
Are you swimming, Neil? You can track
Nah.
lengths with your watch. You've got a watch.
Only-
That's, what
Yeah, it tracks my swimming, but
It's
only
swimming
been
is
tracking
this?
the
It's
amount of
tracked.
alcohol I've been drinking lately.
I was going to say, does it track your liver swimming in alcohol?
Right now, it thinks you're swimming like me with Nemo
Yeah,
style,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And just your one hand.
Well,
going up
I
and
haven't
down.
got a watch on both wrists, so I've only ever got one on. So it's I don't know. It's clever.
I've
I don't know.
hijacked
It
your
does
story
actually. It's
there.
quite accurate.
No, that's okay. I
You
just
got
wanted to
anything else, Fraser?
Yeah, I have. I've got 2 more things. We went to the beach last weekend, which was phenomenal.
I thought you was fishing. Oh no, that was a week
That was the
before,
week
wasn't it?
before. Yeah, beach was nice. We went into the Lake Erie, which is one of the Great Lakes. We have some friends up there who are on the beach. Sandy beach. It was roasting hot, but I went into even though it's a lake, we had proper waves, and I can't even tell you the last time I played in the waves. Like, it sounds whatever, but I mean, it was what a lot of fun playing in big waves or whatever like that. Me and the kids had a blast. It was really good fun. So that was pretty neat. And then the other thing that I can't let slide is I have a real problem with the CAGcast, which is, listeners know, I listen to it. So does Neil. I think it was Wombat a couple of episodes back said he had watched the Batman movie. I can't remember which one he said he'd watched. Maybe it was both. Either with
They were talking
Val
about Batman Forever and all sorts of them the other week.
Yeah, well, they were Batman Forever and then Batman
Returns
and Robin. Batman
and Robin was the shit one.
Yeah. So anyway, I've decided, oh, you know what? I'm going to watch. It turns out they're on a streaming service that I have here. The only caveat was I had to watch it with adverts, but actually they didn't plaster it with too many adverts. It was more than bearable. In fact, I was grateful for the adverts in the second one. So let me just go. So just to give you a quick recap for anybody who cannot remember, Batman Returns, 1995 with Val Kilmer. It's a big bag of okay.
Who's the baddie?
Val Kilmer's okay as Batman. Jim Carrey as the Riddler is a no-brainer, right? Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face is absolutely awful. He is terrible. I don't even know why he is in that. He's an awful villain. In fact, I think he's an awful actor in that as well. Just dreadful. But
Two-Face,
if you can get
as in general, is a bad villain, or just in that particular movie?
No, because Aaron, what's his face or whatever, who did Two-Face in Dark Knight, is really cool. He's a really good Two-Face. Like, he was just properly dark and annoyed and angry, and that was just a well done Two-Face. Tommy Lee Jones is just a joke. He just looks like a guy who's got big purple makeup on half of his head. I don't really like that, but actually, as movies go,
campy, weren't they? Were a bit campier. The old
they
ones.
were a bit campy, yeah. Certainly, though, if you go into Batman and Robin, oh boy, man, that movie.
The Fools and Horses version was more authentic than that.
The thing is, it's actually, if you look at it from a point of view of like kids going to see a Batman movie, it's all right, you know. It's Batman and Robin fighting stuff. There's tons of things that don't make any sense in it, but at the same time, it's just jammed full of bad guys and Batman and Robin and huge set pieces and
there's tons of
bad
stuff
guys
that doesn't
flying.
make sense in a comic book movie.
No, but you know what I mean? It's like Alicia Silverstone turns up as Batgirl. Like, well, it does make sense when you think of it in terms of marketing, right? When you think of it in terms of selling toys, that movie makes a lot of sense. But they just shoehorn Alicia Silverstone into the role of Batgirl. Alfred, who's on his deathbed, just happens to make her a uniform because he thinks she's going to find the Batcave at some point. And then they all turn up in new uniforms like about 5 minutes later. So you know they're selling toys. But to their credit, if you can put all that aside and think in terms of like the old Adam West Batman, you can just about get away with it. Is it a good movie? Absolutely not. It's terrible. It's terrible. Val Kilmer's a good Batman, though. I thought he was. Sorry, not Val Kilmer. George Clooney is a good. Yeah, he's a good Batman. Bruce Wayne.
It seems like he'd be a good Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I think he was a good Bruce Wayne for sure. So I thought Val Kilmer was a good Batman too. That he was all right.
People go on about Michael Keaton being a great Batman, don't they?
Yeah, I think he was okay.
I don't know. I don't read the comics, so you know.
Yeah.
I'm coming at it from a purely. My childhood Batman was Adam West, so it was all super camp and like fucking rubber sharks and all that shit. So
yeah, well, that's the thing with in the Val Kilmer one. In the George Clooney one, like they have stuff like that. Like Robin says, you know, "Holy whatever this Batman," and there is one bit where they hit somebody and you can hear the sort of sound like from the 60s TV show, right? So they know what they're doing.
That horn blast.
Yeah. So yeah, anyway, that was my sort of sit down and force myself to watch those this week. I don't recommend it really.
I'm not going to be doing that.
No.
And that was about it. I mean,
Batman and Spider-Man are probably the worst two.
Well, Spider-Man's good.
Yeah, Spider-Man's all right.
Really?
Have you watched?
Have you seen the first one?
Have you seen Into the Spider-Verse, the animated one?
No.
You should absolutely.
I've seen it on the Netflix or
100% watch that movie. That is a fantastic movie. Cannot recommend it.
When you say that, you know I'm going to watch it. But we know from previous conversations.
Well, it is the best one.
Have you seen Schmigadoon yet?
I know somebody who has seen Schmigadoon.
Oh, who?
Yeah, spoilers for next week.
Yeah. He's got it in there. Come on, Excellent. Neil. Now's your chance.
Right. I'll quickly talk about what I've been watching. Because I watched what I thought, silly me, that Better Call Saul had all of the episodes out. Turns out there's one left. I didn't find that out until I watched 12 episodes this week. I just fucking proper binge watched it this week. And it's really good. And I'm like, no, I've got to wait till Tuesday or something for the last one. And I think this is properly like the last one. So
loads of people have been talking about it.
Yeah. I've been saving them up to watch them all in one go. And then I watched one today and it was like, fuck, there's one left. It's not out yet. But yeah, so in about 2 days, I've watched 12 episodes of Better Call Saul. It's fucking good. So
I've been watching Better Call Saul this week, but
where are you?
The latest. I'm not in the latest series. I started series 5.
Yeah, it's like I said to Mike in their Discord that it's been building up to this point. It's taken a long time to get here, but that was a bit like Breaking Bad. Like there was big build-ups the whole way through. But if you've watched Breaking Bad, I don't know. Some people don't like Better Call Saul because it's a bit slow, or they don't like Saul Goodman as a character, or Jimmy McGill, whatever. But I've liked it all the way through. It's different to Breaking Bad, but I don't know. It's been really good, all of them, and this series has been particularly good. But yeah, one episode to go, and then it'll be done, and I'll be sad again.
You can watch Schmigadoon, that'll cheer you up.
I can watch For All Mankind because I've renewed my Apple TV for another month. That went through the other day. So
now I've got that in my what I'm going to talk about in a minute. You've renewed it just for a month.
I've done it for a month at the moment, so we'll see how much I'm watching in a month's time.
It's the cheapest one. It's only $4.99.
Yes, but I'm paying for all of them. So
I know, so am I.
Right. My Netflix is bundled in with my Sky TV, so I won't be binning that off because it's like £4 or something for Netflix. But then it's only £5 for Apple TV, and then I'm paying for Amazon anyway. So what's the other? Disney. I've paid another club card deal for the next 3 months of Disney. Is ready to go when that runs out.
Right.
Because they were
Mine
doing
must be due then.
£6 for 3 months. It was instead of £8 the other day when I looked. I had a voucher running out, so I fucking spent that on it. But apparently the price is going up on Disney as well, and they're bringing out ads on the cheap tier. The current price will have ads on it, and there'll be a more expensive one with no ads.
Someone else is doing that. Is it Amazon are doing it at the moment, aren't they?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Free with ads.
But the biggest thing this week is it's been my wedding anniversary this week.
Ooh.
Happy anniversary.
It's 20 years this year.
Oof.
So,
She get
Happily
less for
married
murder.
for how many?
get less for murder. Probably would have had more sex though if I'd have done that. Might have been a bit more painful though.
Well, you'd have to rape them and then murder them, but okay.
No, well, I assumed I've been nicked.
Oh, while you're in prison,
you get less for murder, yeah. I'll just find a penny I can drop.
Well, that went south very quickly.
Yeah, didn't it? Well, that's no. Let's just leave it there. Right?
Congratulations, Neil. Well done on 2 decades of marriage.
2 decades, yeah, mad. So we had a bit of a do last weekend.
She's still with you. How on earth
Somehow.
she hasn't
I don't know.
binged your Fiesta ass by now? I don't know.
But she doesn't. She's not obsessed with cars, but just don't like it on car.
Unlike you, of course.
So we had a bit of a do last weekend, and I had quite a few people who were at our wedding there. There's obviously a lot of people that weren't at our wedding, or who were at our wedding that didn't come. And because we
where did you have a do?
Just around our house, out in the back garden.
Nice.
It was nice weather. Been outside up till about
Did you
3
go
o'clock in the
Pilch?
morning.
Where was your invite, Pilch? Did you not?
We had
I
some
didn't
new
see my
faces this
invite.
year.
Didn't get one.
No, me neither.
No, I don't like you two. Anyway, so yeah, there's a load of people that we didn't know at the time that were here this time, but it was good to get a load of people together.
And again,
so a load of people who
lot of
weren't at our
people-
wedding that we didn't know then were here for this party.
oh,
And
okay.
obviously,
I
New
just
there's a load of
thought you
people.
said there was a
who
lot of
weren't
people at your
our
wedding you didn't know.
There's a lot of people who were at our wedding that didn't come. But then there was still quite a few people obviously did go to our wedding that did come. So it was nice to get a load of people together and have a lot of drinking, bit of food. And yeah, we went to bed at about 3 o'clock in the morning, a bit like our wedding night. There were shots going on and all that sort of stuff. It was pretty much like all the stuff we did and paid a shitload of money for at a hotel. We just did at our house and paid less money for.
So you tied one on properly. Did you make it up the stairs okay?
Well, yeah, I think we both went to sleep pretty quickly though this time.
You didn't
that was
consummate
definitely
the
not,
anniversary.
no, that didn't happen like it did 20 years ago. That's for sure. I was just like, oh fuck, we're both fucked without any fucking. So yeah, that's what happens, isn't it? Isn't it?
I'm not saying anything, mate.
Anyway, but yeah, 20 years.
Good for you. Well done.
Where's that time gone?
How many are you on,
Crazy.
Phrase?
17, I think.
Mm.
You?
Well, together 33. Married 25.
25. Look at that, eh?
Yeah, that's for double murder.
Look at us all, batting well above our averages too.
Well,
except for you, Pilch.
what else you done, Neil?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
else you done?
That's it, mate. I've done fuck all. I've been doing some video gaming.
Okay. All right. Well, you can't talk about that yet.
Right.
What have I been doing? Well, I re-subbed to Apple TV this evening.
Ooh.
When I looked, apparently the last subscription was last November. It
Wow.
ended. Must have been when Ted Lasso finished.
All
Yeah,
schmigadoon.
second season.
So we was on the Samsung TV. When you go into the menus, it brings up all the apps and tells you what's on them. And I saw something was on there that I didn't realise had come back for the third season, which me and Lisa love watching. It's called Trying. Don't know if
Trying?
either of you have seen it. Trying. It's a British comedy about a couple. The first series is basically them trying to have a baby. That's why it's called Trying. Things have moved on. Now it's the third season, but it's very good. Very
Are
good.
they still
Quite
trying,
emotional,
or did
but
they conceive? And
I'm not
spoilers?
spoiling it. If
Spoilers.
you haven't
Spoilers.
seen it, for fuck's sake.
Only if you've watched
Mate,
Schmigadoon are you
Be
privy
a bit
to
long in the
spoilers.
tooth if they're still trying after 3 seasons.
Well, they moved along. That's all I'm saying. So that's good. We sat and watched a couple of episodes of that before I come on here.
You need to watch For All
There's
Mankind.
probably well, there's at least at least a couple of films and 3 other bits and pieces I want to watch. So this will probably roll into Ted Lasso, and then it'll be Christmas again. So they'll get me money for 6 months.
Just to buy another
So
iPhone.
I watched. I think that's how I got it last time.
Yeah, 6 months if you buy something or other. Thing is, I can't remember it was. Paul W sent us a tweet with loads of ways to. If you've got a Barclay card, apparently you can get like 5 months free or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got a year of everything. What's their premium thing called?
Apple One
or something. Yeah, when I bought the last iPhone, I got a year's worth of that. So, okay. Now there's a film on. Well, I think you can get it anywhere. We paid for a film. It's called Phantom of the Open. It's based on a true story. It's about a man in the 80s from somewhere up to north. He watches the British Open on telly and decides that he's going to play in next year's Open. But he's never played golf in his life before.
All right.
And it's a story about him.
This is a true story.
Him playing. It's a true story, yes. It is.
Because they do allow amateurs, obviously, in the Open, don't
they? They didn't then going by
there's definitely you definitely have amateurs
to get through. So anyway, I think I paid £4 for it. Through Amazon. I rented it. I didn't buy it because it was like 15 quid or whatever. So we just rented it. I think you get it for 48 hours or something.
This looks like this would be a good one to drop for a night with the missus.
Oh, mate, it's fair. Yeah. Did you ever watch that thing about mate who was the Sunderland? Was it Sunderland? He was the manager. He was a fan, and they let him manage the team. Can you remember?
No.
Did you watch
No, I don't think so.
That? But it's very similar vibe. It's just it's not like laugh out. Actually, yeah, I did laugh out loud a few times. It's just a good feel factor, funny. As soon as we watched it, I phoned my mum and said, "Watch it tomorrow,"
right?
Because you can only watch it. You only got it for 48 hours. So, and my mum and dad sat and watched it the next night, and they just said it was brilliant. It's very, very good. It'll probably be on one of the. I think it came out in the cinema last year.
I've never heard of it,
and it's still pay per view at the moment, but it won't be long before it's probably on one of the services. But if not, it's brilliant. Like I said, I don't know whether Neil would enjoy it. I think Fraser enjoys pretty much similar sort of thing to me. I think he'll probably like it.
Right.
Very good. But don't look up the true story before you watch it.
No, I'm not gonna. I won't do any spoilers on it, but I'll definitely watch that.
Yeah.
I'm just interested. I can see here. There's a guy in it called Mark Rylance. Do you know that guy?
Who's the guy from A League of Gentlemen? Was it A League of Gentlemen?
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't know where I know him because I just watched him in a movie called The Outfit which is where he's this
Okay.
tailor who it's all set around his tailor shop or whatever. I watched it on the plane in when I was coming back from the UK. That's worth looking at if you can. I wouldn't say seek it out necessarily, but it is
You
a
happen
good
to see
film.
it on a Saturday
If
afternoon.
yeah, if you happen to see it and you go, what is this odd film about a tailor starring some guy I don't really recognize or whatever?
Well,
Uh,
the things in it that happen were like you just think, oh yeah, they've put all this in to try and beef up the story a little bit, make the film a bit more interesting. But then at the end, they show you all the photographs and the clips of
right.
the actual events. So, and you think, shit, all this shit actually happened. It's ridiculous that people actually like went for this. It's so, mate, honestly, it's so funny. You got to watch it.
Okay.
You
Put me
normally
down
watch
for
what I
that.
tell you to watch, so I
No,
don't know
no, no,
whether
no,
you.
no. You know what it is? It's you can just tell when somebody definitely knows something is quality, right? You can just you're like got a massive grin on your face. So you're selling it, right? Yeah, I'll watch that.
I don't think I've watched much. Oh God, The Kingdom. Have you seen anyone seen The
Who was
Kingdom?
talking about this the last couple of weeks ago? Is that right?
Right. Okay. Yeah,
This is
I've been
like
watching it because again, yeah, it's a bit. It's sort of Vikings, but not.
it's similar time
It's all
of
based.
history, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all based. Yes, it's more about the Saxons and
Yeah.
all of the Wessex and that sort of thing. It's good. But so I've been watching that. I think it's the third or fourth. I can't remember now. But there's a bit of the acting. Some of the acting's a little bit. Some of the characters are. You think I'm surprised they haven't killed you off like they do with Game of Thrones when they get a crap one. They go, okay, yeah,
Well, they kill off the good ones in Game of
up,
Thrones.
you're not up. Yeah, but then when they're not up to par, they just suddenly croak it. And
Oh
they
no,
go,
they're
yeah, we'll get
good
rid of you
ones.
next season, sort of thing.
The better they are in the Game of
But
Thrones,
yeah,
the quicker they
so
get killed.
that's been quite good. I did have a bit of a thing with me swimming. Right, I think I've said before, I've got this thing called Gym Pass. I pay £8 a month. It's discount. It's a corporate discount through Tesco's. Basically, you get an app on your phone. You pay £8, or depending on what level of gym you want to use. If you want to go to Ballantyne's gyms, it's like 15, 20 quid a month. But it's still way, way less than what it would be if you pay full price. So to join my local leisure centre is £35 a month, and I am paying £8 a month for the same service. Now I used it when I was going to the gym because you just go through, check in with your app on when you get in, and you just go through and go to the gym. But unfortunately, swimming at the moment, because of the COVID malarkey, you have to book on an app. On like this One Life, the leisure
Oh
centre
yeah,
app.
we've had them.
So we needed a card. You need a card and a PIN number so that you can book online. So he goes in. We had to register. We go in. I said, look, I've got Gym Pass. We want to start coming swimming, but we can't just turn up because you've got to book it. Oh, that's all right. Yeah, just get a One Life card, and then you can start booking. I said, the only trouble is when you go on to book, it asks you to pay. You can't book it unless you pay, and I'm already paying, but I'm not a member. So what happens there? So he goes, oh, I'll sort it out. What you'll do is we'll put you down on the computer that you're a full member, so that when you go onto the classes or the swimming or whatever, you can just click on it and it's no fee. Right, brilliant. So we went swimming Monday, went swimming Wednesday, got up on Thursday, and we said, oh, we'll book for Friday morning. Went to click on the book. You haven't got no membership. Oh, here we go. So I goes down there. I says, right, what's happened here? Go for the rigmarole. We've got Gym Pass, yes. Oh, just put us down as a member, yes. I'm assuming someone's gone in there in the morning and thought, oh, these two ain't got membership, but it says they have. Tick them off. Turns out, no one tells us. I'm checking in with the Gym Pass app, but because we're not swiping the One Life card as we go through, it thinks we're booking sessions and not turning up. So it's locked us out of booking the sessions. So I said, well, you could have fucking told us. We still had to swipe the card as we come in. Oh, well, you can't swipe the card because you're not members. Oh, God, here we go. So now they've had to give us another card as full membership. So I said, it's going to work now, is it? It's all sorted. Oh, yeah. And I had a look. Oh, and I can see you've got a full Gym Pass membership until the end of 2023. Well, I haven't because it's monthly. It's a monthly subscription. But
Is
according
this
to
where
my
you just keep your mouth shut and just
according
nod?
to my leisure centre, they think I've got this Gym Pass subscription for another 18 months. So at any point, I can click end subscription on my app and just carry on swimming for nothing.
There you go.
But to be fair, it's only £8 a month, so I'm not going to risk it.
No, they still have to
It
make
costs
money
like
as well, right?
it costs like £6 something just to go
Well,
swimming once.
oh yeah, well that's the same thing with my place. Is like, it's worth. I go regularly, so it's worth getting the membership. But I was looking at the lockers. Every time I go to the lockers, I have 25 cents, right? 25 cents, 25 cents, and I've got loads of. Every
Don't
time
get
I
it
see,
back.
Do you not get it back?
no, you don't get it back. You don't get it back.
Outrageous.
Jesus
I
Christ!
know. Oh my god. And so, and then I noticed the other day, I was like, they have lockers there where you could bring my own lock in. But then I was like, well, if I go buy a lock from somewhere, it's going to take no effort for someone to kick the shit out of that. And then I was like, it's only 25 cents
People
each time, right?
don't
These
even
places,
go into lockers that aren't even locked. People just put stuff in and don't lock them.
mate,
Yeah.
I can't not lock my locker. I gotta lock my shit away.
Got your
For
Jaguar
sure,
keys
right?
in there, haven't they?
What a lot of
You
people
fucking
do
put the
is
old
they
Jag key
take
in there, mate. You gotta put the wallets, all the fucking American Express
lot of
black
people-
cards,
Fat wallet, like about 6
the
inches wide.
the diamond cards that are in
You
there.
fucking
go up
Tissot
into the
watch.
gym. If you go up into the gym, what a lot of people do is they take the key. They leave their gym stuff in the locker, and they just take the key with them.
Oh yeah, right. But
And when
anyway,
they come back the next day, they just
you,
reopen it with their stuff in it still.
yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. But I was just thinking, like, fuck it. These places have to make money. If they don't make money, they're not going to survive, right? And then you don't have the facility, right? So it's
Right.
unfortunately we have to
Well-
be the elderly part of the community that takes some responsibility, right? It's
Well, our one's council run, so it's part of the school. It's attached to the school, so obviously the school uses the leisure centre and whatever. But because of restrictions, they're only allowed 25 people in the pool at one time. So when you go on to book, it says one of there's 15 spaces of 25 left, and you click on it, and then it changes. So I kept looking at it, thinking, "Oh, it says it's like 21 of 25." And we went in it was this morning. Went in this morning, and there was 6 people swimming. I said to Lisa, "There's supposed to be like 20 fucking people in here." It said like 20 booked of 25. No, 20 spaces left of 25.
That's why
Yeah,
all the
that's
So
leisure
only
centres are
5
closing.
people had actually. So I kept thinking, shit, most of these fucking sessions are always booked up because it's like saying 21, 22, or 25. We have to get in quick, else we're not going to fucking get booked. But it's not. It's the other way around.
Yeah, that's good.
So there's loads of fucking spaces left, but it's a full swimming pool with. There's like 2 lifeguards, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
There's only 5 people swimming.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
2 of them are only paying £8 a month.
yeah.
Swimming there. How are they making their money?
The thing,
They're
but
not.
the thing
They're
is,
closed.
it.
it's like the ice rinks, right? They have to, like, whether they like it or not, the water is there, the ice is there, right? If you can do anything to have people on it at any time, right, and try and get some money out, get some money back out of it, right? Like the ice,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Baron von Glauer may be more of a hockey person, but I'm pretty sure in the ice rinks here, like, they probably have people on till midnight and then some. And definitely the kids are doing practices at 5 a.m. or something like that. So it's like very rare that the ice isn't being used.
Yeah, Daisy used to figure skate, and she would go at 9 at night or 6 in the morning, or it's open until fucking silly o'clock.
Yeah.
But then
So-
it doesn't cost anything to keep it open. You're paying all that money to keep that ice
Oh yeah, there's a lot of money
ice.
being generated.
Yeah,
Same with the
so
pool,
it
right?
doesn't. Yeah, exactly. That heating of that pool. And here's the best thing: we're having showers down at we're saving money on 2 showers every day now
There
because
you
we're
go.
fucking showering down there, aren't we? I said to
Yeah,
Lisa,
that's
the
good.
amount of money this is going to cost us to run these showers is probably worth paying £8 a month just to go fucking have a
Yeah.
shower.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You need to take the kids down with you.
Oh dear. Okay, right, that's me done.
All right, that's good. Okay, let's. Oh, there was one more thing that I was watching, which I will just mention before I forget, because it was only 3 episodes that were about 45 minutes each. It was the documentary on Woodstock '99,
Oh yeah.
which I think just arrived on Netflix.
Okay.
Definitely worth a watch. It's like 3 episodes done before you. It's one of those ones I looked at it and I was like, is that really that interesting? It's one of those ones. As soon as you start watching it, you're in. That's it. You're done. And then before I knew it, I binged all 3. And I think the reason it's so fascinating, I don't know how much you guys know about Woodstock '99. Basically, the
I
guy who
heard
did
them talking about it on the CADcast.
yeah, the guy is, in a nutshell, the guy who did the original Woodstock got together with another company in it. I think they did one in '94, but it wasn't very successful. It was small or something like that and shitty. And they got together and they went, let's do a big one for '99. And yeah, so Woodstock '99 was this huge, massive 250,000 people in New York, whatever. And then the whole thing, it just goes to shit, basically. And I think it's interesting for us because we never really heard much about it. Like I never heard
No.
much about it back in the day. Right. So I think it's very, very famous for a lot of people, but for some reason it didn't really make the band lineups weren't really the sort of band lineups I think that weren't really translated well over here. So maybe we didn't see much of it. But there's reasons we didn't see a lot of it too when you watch the documentary. So I definitely recommend that. Okay, let's move on to what we've been playing. Video games. How exciting.
Fuck it, let's end the stream.
Let's talk about swimming. Swimming simulator.
Track and field.
So I'm just trying desperately to before I hand the reins over, just trying desperately to think if there's anything that I played really that because I've got nothing on my list. So I have played a little bit of Valorant, but I'm just not feeling it right now. I just have no desire to jump down into my basement really and play video games. I haven't played any Vampire Survivors. I'm just on I'd rather sit and watch TV or sit in the garden or listen to music or something, right? So I don't know. Video games have just
Done any DJing?
yeah, I have done some DJing, yeah, but it's like the things run in cycles where it's sort of like I haven't watched much TV for a while, so I'm really enjoying binging some TV now. So that's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. Don't forget, I was voted #1 DJ in my house for 15 years running. So DJing's a part of my life too. I ain't done shit on the.
You're the current
bit for
DJ
gaming.
champion, are you?
Yeah.
Not only FPL champion, a current DJ champion.
And there's current swimming champion in the house as well,
That's
no
right.
doubt.
Well, the big joke I always talk to my wife of the big joke is I tell her I'm preparing for the Olympic team or whatever. Right? It's just, and I give her updates on how my performance is. And anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something to watch a lot of. The Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
That was in and out quickly. Was that only on for a week or was it on for 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
It just seemed to.
10 days or something. Yeah.
Was it?
It's good. I watched most of it. The women's diving and the women's pole vault was very, very enjoyable.
Right.
I don't know what it is, right? When I go onto, I think it's the Seal Podcast YouTube or something like that, there's always a clip of some woman pole vaulter. I'm like, who the fuck is this bird? It's like, oh, she's obviously quite famous, I'm guessing. I'm like, I don't know who this girl is. But
why is that on our YouTube?
Because you obviously watch loads of dodgy stuff on the YouTube.
What's she doing? Pole vaulting. That's
just
not
pole
dodgy.
vaulting. She's got tight
pole
pants on.
It's not dodgy. It's literally in the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah, but she's got tight pants on.
I didn't really see much about the Commonwealth Games here, which was really odd.
Yeah, she
didn't win anything.
Canada were pretty hot at it, mate. Are they?
Yeah. I
Very
mean,
well
maybe.
represented.
I mean, thing is, probably the CBC had it, and I don't watch like terrestrial television here, so I would have it all passed me by. Because didn't we have the Commonwealth Games here a few years ago? I think it was something.
Probably.
Anyway.
I guess they like do it.
Oh,
everywhere.
I think we had the first Commonwealth Games actually, if I'm not mistaken.
What, like 150 years ago?
Yeah, I
It
think
wasn't that
so.
long ago because it was the Empire
1920?
Games up until yeah.
Commonwealth Shames.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Good. This is good radio here.
Yeah.
1930 was the
It's
first
definitely
one.
a poor man's Olympics, though, because
Well, it's
obviously,
missing
no
like a
American, there's no
large portion of the
Chinese.
world, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's only
Yeah, not
places
far
that we
from me, the
conquered.
first one. Canada's held it quite a few times, but then everybody's held it quite a few times. Right? So, yeah, there you go. Medal table. And who won the medal table? The Australians?
I can't remember if it was Australia or England. I think it was definitely one of them two.
Really?
Not Britain, obviously, because Wales and Scotland and Northern Ireland were all.
It'll be like that in the Olympics in a few years' time as well.
Here we go, medal table. Australia was top.
I wonder
with
why it's not
67.
like that.
Because we're supposed to be the United Kingdom.
Yeah, well, Great Britain when we're in the Olympics, but why can't we just go as England? Because we
Australia.
wouldn't win the curling,
We're
then,
not
would
a
we?
country, are we?
Australia came first, England came second, and Canada came third.
Ah.
There you go.
Did it not hit the
India
front page
came
of the
fourth.
newspapers over there then? India?
Yeah, I may have done, but yeah.
India.
India fourth, New Zealand fifth, Scotland sixth,
Well done, Scotland.
Nigeria
Scotland.
seventh.
What the fuck?
He's going to read the whole lot out now.
Yeah, go
Well,
on,
I was just interested. Rob sitting there going, "They're a Commonwealth country. They're a Commonwealth country.
Apparently so.
I'm a
They got
Commonwealth
like-
country. I've got no games. Okay, so I have no games to talk about. So
Wow.
let's go. Who wants to go?
Mine are
First.
going to be super quick.
Okay, you go last then.
Right.
Or do you want to go first?
No,
I don't care.
I'm going to go.
Hurry up.
Go on.
Okay, so I've only got 4 games. I was playing Stray, the cat game, on the PlayStation last week, I think.
The cat game.
And I finished playing the cat game this week on International Cat Day, no less.
Perfect.
You heard it here, folks.
It was
Who says we're not full of quality?
It was a pure coincidence. I was playing the game and I looked on Twitter and it's like, apparently it's International Cat Day. I was like, oh, I guess I best finish the game today then. So I went and powered through and finished it. It's good. It's a very catty game. It's not going to be game of the year for me. It's gorgeous to look at. Really quite nice, like the cyberpunky looking city. And yeah, there's a thing on the stream right now where like there's these weird, like you get into a bucket and you get transported across the map. And I'm like, who the fuck put that there? Like it's specifically for a cat to travel in, basically. I'm like, you've gone to this place where you weren't obviously there.
This doesn't make any
It's like,
sense.
this is very conveniently placed to put a small receptacle for a cat-sized object because everything else in the city is like a humanoid robot.
I'll tell you what, go watch Batman and Robin, question Alicia
Yeah.
Silverstone's part in the movie, and then you will forget about the bucket, the cat bucket.
Yeah.
That's the show
well,
title, by the way.
Cat bucket. I'm like, yeah.
Could've
So
used
there's
a
little things like
catamaran.
that. You just be like, But no, there was no catamarans as far as I remember.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's basically a story game, so I can't really talk about it too much. Like you're jumping around and
You can. Don't worry.
you traversing this landscape. It's a town, it's a city. You got to climb through fucking windows, and you can, because you're a cat, you can get into places that you couldn't if you were a person. You can jump around pipes and jump on things and knock things off things like a cat does. And sometimes the thing of knocking things off like cats do is part of like the things you need to do to like progress and stuff like that. So it's cool. It is cool, but And this is from a non-cat person, as I said before. But yeah, it doesn't. Nothing really makes sense if it's science fiction, really, does it? So, but yeah, it's cool. Futuristic, like you've got a robot strapped to your back, and there's a bit reminded me now, like where you've got to avoid getting spotted by things. They've got like a sort of cone of vision that is displayed on the floor wherever that they can see.
Not a cone of shame.
Not a cone of shame, no.
Is it a CAT scan?
Oh,
That's good. That's good.
They were scanning for things, not necessarily cats. But yeah, so you have to avoid getting spotted, and sometimes you have to get spotted to lure these things out of the way and stuff like that. So it's cool. There's loads of different like mechanics in the game, and it doesn't really overstay its welcome. It's short enough.
You know what it sounds like?
Big bag of
Metal.
OK.
Sounds like Metal Per Solid.
What category would you put that in?
I'm not talking about it anymore.
Cat game's done.
Awful.
I feel like the cat game to me is like the traveling circus. It came into town, it was around for about a week, and now it's fucked off again, and no one will really think.
Well, it's not very long. It's only like 5 or 6 hours long.
Yeah.
Did it leave you feline a little deflated?
Oh my god, I can't do this anymore.
Yes, you can.
I'm not. No, I'm done.
All right.
Right. Okay. Where else are we? I've played 3 other games. I played a very Dave game, which I think Dave will be talking about next week.
Well, I didn't play it actually. Is this the Shenzhen IO?
Shenzhen.
Shenzhen IO.
It teaches you how to pronounce it in the game.
You definitely should not play this game.
He's not going to play this game. He's not here now. He's even fucked off. So Shenzhen IO is a game made by a company called Zachtronics. And they've just made their last game, which I think you may have been playing the other day, called Last Call BBS.
Yeah, I have been playing.
It's very similar in style. Like you sort of log into a system in Shenzhen IO, and it looks like a desktop, and you have to double click on a logo down in the bottom of the screen, and it'll open an app. Shenzhen IO is all about programming and creating like electronic products for your company. Basically, you're a guy and you've moved to China to work for this big fucking electronics company. And the way the story goes is you open your email folder and you read all the emails, and then it will say, here's a project that needs working on completion. So you click on that, and then there'll be a thing in there, open design, and you open like literally like it's called something CAD, and you are like it literally like a little sort of visual representation of your electronic circuit that you've got to make, and you've got to draw the wires on like on a circuit board to connect the pins on chips together, and then depending on what chips you've got on there, you might be able to write a little bit of code in there to make it do whatever it's supposed to do. Like there'll be when you've opened a design, at the bottom of the screen there's like a written description of whatever's got to happen, like what the inputs are, what the outputs have got to be, and all this sort of stuff. And then there's another tab that you click on, and it'll show you like a sort of time-based graph of the inputs and then what the outputs need to be for you to complete the project. So then you have to basically draw your circuit up, put the little microprocessors in there, write a little bit of code to make it do whatever it says it's got to do on the output line. And I was like, I haven't done any fucking coding for a fuck knows how long, like 30 years probably. I did do actually A-level electronics, and we were programming very simple microprocessors with like literal machine code, like what do you call it, hexadecimal machine code. You're not doing quite that because it's like a very basic, like more basic than basic, or more complicated than basic even, because you're only using you get like a little instruction set in the manual which you have to open. I've usually got the manual open in another window on PC, so I can read any instructions while I'm solving the puzzles. So it's basically, you got to solve puzzles by writing code and drawing a circuit diagram, electronics. And the first few, I'd never read any instructions or anything. And I was like, sussed out the first 2 or 3 because they're quite basic. And then it got a bit more complicated, and you're putting multiple chips down and writing different bits of code in each chip and stuff like that. And when you do something, it's very cool. You're like, yeah, I'm pretty clever. And then I got to a point now where every single one, I'm like, I have no fucking idea how to fucking do this without probably looking it up. Because there's a couple of different chips that you can write more code in with some of them. But yeah, it's got to the point now beyond my capabilities, I think, and I feel like it's still quite early in the game because like what I did see, there was a thing that I've just got an email that says it's basically given me like a free roam. It's like, here's an LCD display, no instructions, no basis, no outputs, make a video game. It's like, what do you mean make a fucking video game using the LCD display? Like, you have to program all these other chips to do whatever on this LCD display. And I'm like, fuck that. And then when I was looking for YouTube videos for the stream today, there's one where someone's made fucking Tetris and it's fucking literally playing out a game of Tetris. I was like, fucking hell. So it is pretty clever, but I don't know if I think it's playing itself, but it was just like little fucking, like the LCD screens, little Tetris shapes coming down, and there was tons of different chips all the way around it, just like with little different bits of coding. I was like, oh my God, I can't fucking do that.
Yeah, I think I'm the same as you, Neil. It's worth taking a look at this game because the thing that draws me to the game, that it basically completely immerses you in the fact that it turns your desktop into like, it's like you're at your new job with the way they do it with like emails from people, and you can go read this. And when you need to read the instruction manual, it actually fires it up in a PDF reader on your PC. So from that, and I've seen those types of games. We've had browser-based games that have sort of been in a similar sort of vein. I've seen them before in the past. This one has just done really, really well.
It's got really cool music and stuff like that. Like little
everything about it is really good.
Cool.
It's really well designed.
Fucking hard.
Right. It's definitely one of those things. Everyone, and it's not very big. It's if you're on, I don't know. I guess it's only on PC Game Pass.
Yeah, I assume so.
It's fire it up and take a look at it. It's worth just firing it up to take a look at it. And you never know, because I still haven't said no to it. I haven't got as far as you went, but I have here. Look, check it out.
You printed the manual.
Not only have I printed it, I've even got a proper thing for it, right? Nice. Which I bought from the dollar store. So I'm ready to go. But I was reading this manual earlier, and I know I'm never, ever going to finish this. It's not going to happen. No. So
no, it's rock hard. Like I say, I was doing okay, and I was motoring through going, yeah, I'm getting good at this, using all these different commands, like comparing this input to a value and using the accumulator part of your fucking microprocessor and like putting stuff in there, making it subtracts and all this. I was like, when you did one that was quite complicated, I was like, and it actually worked, I was like, yes, get in. But then, like I say, I got to the next one, I was just like, fuck, I've been banging my head against the wall of this next one, which is you've got it says the premise was, the email was, I've been playing loads of VR, but I need a system where something sets an alarm off basically when someone else is near me, so that I don't fucking hit them. So there's like, basically it boils down to, there's a radio receiver that you put on the circuit board, which whenever it gets someone near it, obviously it receives a signal, and it then sends a signal out of that, and then you've got to connect it to all these processors and do all of this logic so that when someone's near, it sets an alarm off, but as soon as they fuck off out of the area, it stops. And I was like, oh, that was
The
fucking
thing is, that is now like shit. This is like a job, right?
yeah.
It's that much mental processing and effort. It's why it's a Dave game. It's got Dave game written all over it.
I wonder how far he'll get with it. To be honest.
Yeah, I mean, we should put in the note. Like, I'll talk about Last Call BBS just briefly because I did.
I
Play
played a bit of that
and-
as well. I played a bit.
Yeah,
of
so
that.
that's by the same guys, but the premise from it is different. In fact, this one is you are firing up an old school 80s computer. And
Yeah.
so basically that's your desktop is an old school called a Z5 Power Lance. And so you basically boot this up and it's the same, right? You can click on the hard drive, you can click on your messages, but when your messages come up, they're like they're on an old Palm Pilot. So it's all like a little,
ICQ, remember that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I use that a lot. And so I've started this one and this is the same sort of thing, right? You on the first thing that I played a bit. Oh, this has multiple games on it, right? So
yeah, you
I
basically
played
go on. You connect to a BBS is the premise of the game, isn't it? And you're allowed to like. This is pre what I interneted. I never went on BBSs, so this is proper early internet. And you used to dial up into a thing. You'd get a specific number to dial to a server, basically, and then you'd be allowed so much time. So the way this game works is literally it will let you download one game. And then you'll be timed out off the server for an actual 15 minutes. It won't let you fucking do anything for 15 minutes.
That was
so it makes
the
you
other
play
thing.
the game.
The first game you want to play, it goes, okay, you need to download it. And it sits there and it makes you wait for 3.5
takes time
minutes.
like a dial-up fucking modem, doesn't it? It makes the sound of a dial-up modem connecting and all that shit.
And you know what? I was
load.
okay with it too.
Yeah.
I was sort of like, I'm old now. I can sit back and wait. I got time. I can do this. 3.5 minutes is nothing. That's nothing. Easy. It was quite nice to just sit and watch that bar go up slowly or whatever. Yeah, and then it times you out for a quarter of an hour for going back again. So I played Solitaire, which is obviously an easy, that's low-hanging fruit. I'm like, I can play that.
I've played quite a few of the ones on BBS.
Yeah, then the only other one I played was the one where you have to build a factory. Let's call it Factorio, right? They're a version of Factorio where you have to do you have to hook up some electronics to make the machines do stuff to make cheese covered tortillas actually. And I did that up to a certain point.
What was that game you liked? Picross. There's sort of like a version of that.
Okay.
On there, but you've got like a grid and it's got like numbers across the top and numbers down the side, and you can only put so many things in. But it was something of dungeons and something or other. That's a good one. That's quite a good one.
Yeah.
Because I thought I finished it, and then it opens a whole load of new ones after. I was like, fuck me, there's loads of this game.
Yeah, there's a Gundam thing or whatever. I'd like to try on that. I'm not done with that one yet. I'm not done with either of them yet. I think the point is, you should check them out. If you've got PC Game Pass, there's no reason you shouldn't just check these out. They're really well made. Definitely probably games I won't put a ton of time into, but you could definitely load up and go, I'm glad I saw that. That's pretty neat what the
music's really good in both the games. Like just little background music playing all the time, and it depending on what you're doing, it'll change. It's cool. They are cool. But yeah, Shenzhen's proper hard.
Well, it'll be interesting to see next week if Dave's been playing it, what he's got to say about it. So, my money's on that he's going to have got some value out of it, but we'll see.
Yeah. But maybe it's just too much like work, though, is the thing. So, we'll see. What else have I got on my list? Right, okay, I've got 2 more games still. Okay, so I was trying to get everyone to buy a game last weekend because it was on sale. I bought it. Dave bought it. Sean bought it. I think they've both refunded it. I bought it before and refunded it before. That game is called Hunt Showdown. But I'm not refunding it this time. So I'm fucking having a good go at it and trying to get better at it. So it's a Wild West aesthetic largely, but it's like a weird, there's like zombies walking around, or like, basically zombies. And then there's other fucked up things like bigger than just humanoid zombies walking around. They're still humanoid largely, but like massively deformed, like something called a meat man who's got a fucking giant cleaver or something. I can't remember. There's loads of fucking well messed up stuff in it. It's like a horror Wild West vibe going on. Bit Resident Evil E, like not, well, sort of villagey. Resident Evil Village stroke 7. You're in first person. But this is a competitive shooter of sorts. Everyone, like I say, it's Wild West themed, so all the guns are pretty shit. It's not like Call of Duty, World War II, or Battlefield fucking 1, where you've got like the guns are all supposed to be shit, but actually they've made them really good. Like you've got proper, like the pistols, like you shoot a pistol and then you have to literally it cocks the fucking lever for the next shot. So if you miss a shot, it's going to be a while before you take your next shot. Even more so when you've got like a lever action rifle, like a bolt action rifle, where you literally like pull the bolt back. Sometimes have to literally load another bullet and push that in before you can take another shot. So it's very. There's a video of that guy who's the firearms expert from the museum in London or whatever it is. He's done loads of videos on YouTube, and he's got a video of all the guns in this. And there are some silly ones in there, but even them are like, it's fucking hard to use them all. They're pretty, like, slow reload is the main thing of all these guns. And there's a couple of game modes now. I think one of them's relatively new. So one, there's that, because I'm now playing on my own, there's quick play mode, which is basically a battle royale of sorts. There's no circle forcing you together as such. It's basically a time limited game. So, but the idea is you be the last one standing. There are some mechanics that are the same between both game modes. You have this thing called Dark Sight, which is your ability for whatever reason, I don't know why, but basically the whole screen kind of goes black, but you can see these glowing points in several places, and you have to go to these sort of glowing points, and there'll be like something called a rift, which is just like this weird fucking mess on the floor that's doing stuff, and you have to hold a button down to examine the clue for so many seconds, and once you've done so many of those, you unlock a location on the map where the big bad enemy is, if you're doing the proper game mode. And if you're doing the solo mode, I'm not actually sure what happens because I've never actually done it yet. I've played quite a lot of solo games on this quick play mode. And
is that you versus the environment?
Well, there is, like I say, there's all these zombie type things walking around which you have to either kill or avoid. The best thing you can do with them generally is to run up them with your melee weapon and fucking kill them. In a single player, you will spawn with a weapon. You can either choose a short range, medium range, or a melee class to go in with, or a random. It will just pick one of those three, and then you'll loot weapons as you go around the map in the quick play mode.
Okay, because I thought it was only an online shooter.
Yeah, it is all online, but you can play just literally, like, there's a separate mode called Trials, which is just PvE. There's no other people running around. So, but quick play is there's other people, and there's like threats on the map.
Right.
There's things called hellhounds, which are like fucked up dogs, which come and eat you to fucking death. There's like zombie horses lying on the ground half dead, which can kick you to death. There's fucking all sorts of mad, fucking crazy stuff. But overall, like I say, you're in the Wild West in the bayou. What's that? New Orleans area, I guess, isn't it? From like Red Dead.
Louisiana.
Yeah, that's it. That sort of area. So it's like swamps and trees and then wooden shack buildings, Wild West style. The sound is really fucking good in this game.
Sound's a big part of it, though, isn't it?
Yeah, like you'll be like, I did play a couple of games with Sean before we decided to refund it and buy a different game. But so I actually killed someone. It's the only person I've killed is when I was with Sean. So at least someone did witness it. But oh man, what was I saying? So
sound. Yeah,
the sound. Like I'm being all like trying not to make any noise, and because he's used to playing Tarkov, and he's like, I was like, we're running through this forest, or I'm walking through the forest, and he's just legging it, and he'll be like treading on all the fucking twigs and making shitloads of noise. And I'm like, fucking hell, everyone's going to know where we are. I don't think it really mattered, to be honest, because one thing I have noticed.
I'll
is
just
that
stop you there, though. We had this on playing Valorant. Like, one of the big parts in Valorant is walking silently.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can hear people coming around the corners if they're not walking slow. I called Sean out. Sean, if you're listening, you got called out twice now for your loud walking, and he said, "I don't care. It doesn't matter. Not for me."
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a loud bugger.
Well, he got shot quite a few times, and I had to pick him up about 4 times.
Yeah, there you go.
But
stubborn.
We still didn't win, but we kind of survived. Oh no, actually, we survived because in the showdown mode, the sort of main mode in the team mode, is you do all that weird like collecting the clues, and then there's like a weird fucking big boss that appears, and you have to go and kill the boss. Then you have to banish him by like pressing a button basically while it does it, and then you'll have looted. You get a load of experience and stuff like that, and then you've got an evac, so you've got to get to a point to get out of the map once you've done the main game mode. So we did get evacuated. Even if you don't kill the big boss, you can still evacuate and keep your hunter alive, because what happens is, beyond a certain level of the game, if you die, then you lose your hunter, you lose your guy and all of their gear. So there's like a permadeath thing going on.
Right.
But you have to hit like a certain level before that kicks in. I'm about halfway to that level. Because the one thing there is an absolute shitload of like purchasable characters and equipment. If you do buy these things with real money, and one of them dies, you don't lose access to them, but you have to use one of the in-game currencies to like revive them effectively. But that's one that you earn quite a lot of. It's relatively easy, I think, to get your characters back if you've paid for them. It's a minor inconvenience, but they will then revert to level 1, and you have to build them back up, obviously. And as they level up, they gain new abilities, gain access to different weapons and stuff like that. So there's fucking quite a lot to it. But basically, the main game loop is trying to fucking not get killed and kill the other people.
I'd like to play it. I keep telling you this, but just now is not the time.
Yeah. Well, I'm always right about these games. You just got to wait for Matthew to tell you it's the right game.
Well, when my cousin tells me that it's time to play The Hunt, then we shall play The Hunt.
Yeah. We'll see. So anyway, that's that done, and I've got one more game, and we sort of mentioned it earlier, and that is the Gran Turismo 7. So that's two PS5 games, just saying, this week. I'm going to be playing quite a lot of
car
this.
Game.
Yeah, I'm probably playing this for quite a long time. There's a lot to do. I guess you've got to build up a collection of cars, so you need potentially to have credits to do that. You can go and buy credits in the store, which is a little bit dodgy. I think it's a bit iffy, but
it's Gran Turismo, isn't it? I mean, it's
you always had to do that, but you could never buy the credits with real money. The question
I think always has to be asked of Gran Turismo is, what if they fucked up? We know what they can do.
I don't know. It's very good.
Is it? That's good.
Yeah.
Then that's good. Not good for the show, but that's good, I guess, for you.
So yeah, you have to like it's a bit cheesy, because basically the way that you progress. Because what I find with a lot of the car games is what drives you on to like. I don't know. Like a lot of these games, you just got a load of cars and some tracks. So unless you're racing with a load of people, what's driving you to play them? This single player is a bit boring. Whereas this obviously gates a load of content from you, but it's how you get access to that content is that enjoyable to make it worthwhile, which I think they've done all right so far. So it's a little bit cheesy, but you obviously get an introduction to the game. I can't remember the early stuff now. But what happens is you unlock gradually, like there's a world map with loads of different locations on. You only have access to a couple of them to start with. One of them that you get to unlock is this place called the Cafe. There's a guy in the cafe called Luca. It's literally just a photo of him. And then there'll be like text coming up, proper Nintendo style, like no voice acting, just like a load of speech that's coming up in text form. And he basically says, what you need to do is I'm gonna give you this menu because it's in a cafe, and it's gonna have a job to do basically. And then when you do the job, you get a reward, and then I give you another menu. And this is the way you progress, basically, in the single player. Is he gives you a job to do, you go and do it, go back to him, he'll give you a little spiel about, because you unlock some cars basically while you're doing it, and he'll talk about the cars. Someone else might pop up, and maybe you want to talk to them about the cars, and they'll have their own little spiel. But largely, basically, what happens is I pick up a menu and it says, collect these 3 cars, and you're like, you could go and buy those cars if you had loads of credits, I guess, and complete the menu that way. But if you go and do these 3 races, you'll earn those cars. So that's what makes you go and do those races, and they get progressively, you get faster cars as you go through, basically. I've got to the point where I've just unlocked 3 Mustangs, and then my next job is to unlock 3 Camaros or something, or 3 Chevys. I can't remember. It's either all Camaros or they're all just Chevys. So that's where I've got to single player wise. There is good old licenses from the back in the days. You remember doing them for fucking hours on end?
Yeah, it was the thing. You had to get your license before you were allowed to go drive.
So some of the menus are like, go and do the B license. So the first license you have to do is the B license. So you have to do you drive slow cars basically to do B licenses. Then you get to A licenses, International B, International A. I've done up to International A. I'm just about to start the Super license. The Super licenses, because what happens is you do like a portion of the track in the other license test. You have 10 tests to do, and it'll be a portion of a track, and you have to drive it within a certain time to complete it. You get bronze, silver, and gold. Obviously, if you do gold all the way through, you get an extra car. If you do them once you've done them all at bronze minimum, you get a car unlocked, and if you do them all gold, you get another car separate. So what that license is basically like, you start off with slow cars in the B, slightly quicker cars in A, etc., 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 up to Super. The fastest car I've driven was some fucking crazy prototype in the International A license. Most of the cars I've driven are pretty easy to handle because they're quite slow. That thing was fucking so much quicker than anything else I've driven. It was like, whoa. It actually, like, one thing I thought about when Forza came out, I thought like Forza felt like you were going fast, whereas Gran Turismo didn't. And now they've absolutely nailed that feeling of speed. It feels like you're going fast when you're going fast, and the fucking control of stuff is brilliant. So far, I've played quite a bit. I don't know how many hours I'm up to. 5 or 6 hours probably on Gran Turismo. But yeah, I've got my Super license to do. Maybe do that tomorrow. And then all the licenses are unlocked. Then I've got to go and do them all gold, obviously, because that's what you have to do.
Are you from back in the day? Did you play a lot online, or have you got plans to go online? Because I know that I think the Player One podcast, which I listen to, a famous podcast that I really don't like, but I listen to it anyway. I'm pretty sure they have a Gran Turismo.
What, like a little session every week?
Yeah, they might have something tied up with Rain City Gamers, but anyway, I think so there's leagues and stuff like that. So there are people are having leagues. There's a whole separate
section of the game called GT Sport, which is all like, it's like ranked multiplayer racing. So you'll have like what's it called? There's 2 ranks basically, and one of them is based on how clean a racer you are, and you can only be, and the other one is like how quick you are. But your quickness rating can only ever be as high as your cleanness rating. So if you were just a twat and crash into everyone, you'll never get anywhere. So it encourages you to be a clean racer and that obviously encourages good multiplayer racing if people race clean, Because if someone's
Right.
just being a dick all the time, it's no fun for anyone, apart from
Right.
the person being a dick, I guess. So I haven't
That's a good
ventured
idea.
into that yet. Yeah, I mean,
That's
a
a
lot
good
of these
idea.
games, a lot of these multiplayer racing games will have something similar, like the proper ones. Like iRacing is the big one on PC, where you have to pay a subscription per month and pay for content, like tracks and cars. But that obviously, no fucking idiots are in there because it costs fucking money. And you have like your sort of cleanliness rating in that game, and you'll only be allowed into certain lobbies if your driver ranking's high enough and stuff like that. And they are similar to what they've got in here by the look of it. There is just a separate multiplayer section, which I haven't touched yet, because I don't know if you need to unlock the cars to get into these, or whether you can just pick any old car once you're in multiplayer. I don't know, because I haven't looked at it. But yeah, it feels like the best I can remember of Gran Turismo. It looks absolutely stunning. But there's no damage on the cars. Boom. But yeah, hopefully you don't
None
crash.
at all.
No, there's no cosmetic damage to the cars. If you have a big fuck off accident, there's no scratches or anything. But that's always been the way in Gran Turismo. So you can crank up the realism, but it will have like an effect on your vehicle, but it won't. There's be no visual representation of that damage or anything like that. So, but yeah, very impressed, and I'll be playing a lot more of it. And I don't know if other people are about, I wouldn't be able to get into a regular multiplayer thing. I did play quite a lot of multiplayer Forza when we got there was a group going, but I'm not sure what's going on there anymore.
You'll have to start one, mate. The VG Hub Gran Turismo club.
Yeah, maybe the VG Hub Racing Club. I don't know.
Well,
It's a lot of effort.
Just search VG Hub, it'll be in there.
Get your mic closer to your Pilch. You can barely hear you.
Oh. Yeah,
You've changed your mic.
I changed my gain only because my fridge freezer was making a racket. So I didn't pick it up.
Yeah.
Am I loud enough now?
Yeah, perfect.
Perfecto. Right. So that's me, I think, wasn't it? Was that everything?
Yeah, you should stream some of it. I'd like to.
What, Gran Turismo?
Yeah, well, you know what? That your streaming stuff for the PS5 would be good because I don't have a PS5. I'm not going to get a PS5.
Yeah, my PS5 is in a room that's power lined.
Move it then.
Oh, jeez.
It's on power line, so I don't know how that's going to go. To be honest, I'll have to see what it's like multiplayer on its own before I even try about streaming it.
Sort it out. Don't care. Just sort it out.
I want to play on my big telly though. Got a nice big fat telly in the back room, and I don't want to play on a monitor next to this.
Isn't there Twitch integration on the PS5? Or what did you say? Why? Yeah. Did you say because it's wireless or something?
It's on a power line, so it goes through the electric wiring and all that. It's never as good. It's not the same as hardwired into the router.
Oh.
And Wi-Fi, that's not happening in that room where it is. So,
okay,
we'll see.
Anyway, you should still try and figure it out.
I could maybe, but I've got no camera for the PS5. I'd have to buy a proper PlayStation.
I just want to watch the game. That's okay.
Okay.
Fucking hell. Barriers to entry or what?
Fucking hell.
Just stream something. Goodness sake.
All right. Well, you could stream something.
I'm going to. I've got tomorrow afternoon all to myself.
Yep. And I'm going to as well, Neil. So what's your excuse?
Oh, good. It's all right. I just made up all
Back
YouTube.
for Blood, anyone?
I still haven't uninstalled. I hovered over it and I was like,
I have. Mine's gone.
Oh, is it?
I think I might have uninstalled it.
Yeah.
You're not going back to it, are you? That's it.
I don't know.
At its time.
Yeah. It was just.
There was a big update, weren't there?
Yeah, there has been one.
They've got a bit of paid content.
Yeah, got like Battle Pass shit now, haven't they? No, not Battle Pass. Just an update thingy.
That could still make one of my games of the year, though, easily.
Was that this year?
It was last year.
Was it?
Yeah, I was playing that in November before Christmas, wasn't we? Surely.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was last year.
I think it would. It
No?
must have. Well, I think it would have made my game of the year. I can't even remember what our games of the year were. Anyway,
Hang on, I'll tell you in a sec.
Maybe someone's written them down somewhere.
that's the good thing about if you go back through the podcast episode lists, you can do a search by games.
Back to the Blood. Hang on, I'm going to see when I got my first achievement.
Oh, that's a good way.
Oh, that can't be right.
Well, it did come out in October last year.
Yeah, and it was day one release, so yeah, it was. Yes, indeed.
Well, then,
you were right, Pilch.
Yeah, you were right, Pilch. Then how do we? What?
We're almost done.
I'm surprised. Did that make our? Did we do games of the year? We'll have to check that. Do we have any record of what that was?
There's this bloody Discord channel, isn't there?
I don't
Are they not all in there?
No idea.
Someone's deleted that channel. You know,
I know where I can find.
Star Power like.
I know where I've got them. They're written down in my notebook. But I don't know where.
Follows your rules.
No, it's not in the Discord.
Okay.
I'll tell you what there is. There is a 20-minute clip on Twitch that I highlighted, is what there is.
Of what?
Of the... Oh no, fuck, that was the predictions, wasn't it? I don't know. Fucking can't remember. There's somewhere.
Yeah, we'll have to come back to that. Okay, Pilch, you want to go on to your games?
Well, I might as well, mightn't I? Since I'm the only one left. Okay, I played a game today called Rumbleverse. Everyone's talking about these battle royale.
Oh, that was that game you posted about the queue thing earlier. I thought it was multiverse.
Did you actually get to play it?
I didn't get to fucking play it.
Oh, so it's not worth getting me a video up.
I think the servers are down from what I could. I was 9,000 and something in the queue, and 2 minutes later I was 13,000 in the queue. Something going wrong here. So
yeah, that doesn't sound right.
It's like that new multiverse thing, basically.
Yeah, it's a completely different game.
Is it?
Yeah, Rumbleverse is all about. It's like wrestling, but in an open world multiplayer type thing.
Oh, okay. Oh, really?
But it looks like Fortnite because it's made in it. It's like an epic game.
Right. So, okay. I don't know. Just looked like a fight, like a Royal Rumble type thing to me. Anyway, exactly. Right. Rocket League Golf. That's what I'm calling it because that's what it is.
I've heard good things.
No.
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 Oh.
It's literally Rocket League on a golf course. You can interact with the other people on the golf course, but the idea of the game is you just hit your ball with your car around the course until it goes in the hole. There's like little boost things.
Can you hit other people's balls?
I didn't. You can hit other cars. I don't think I ever hit anybody else's ball. I played 3 holes. Some of them literally before you'd even started had fucking finished. And I've probably out of 5 or 6, I'll probably come 5th or 6th every time. It's just Rocket League. The music's the same. The game's the same. It's identical.
I'd heard. So I was just going to say, I'm sure I heard some people saying, yeah, this is really good. Yeah, it's a complete rip-off of Rocket League, but it's really good and people should, But you didn't think it was...
I mean, you're not chasing the ball like football, though, so you've all got your own ball.
Right.
I
don't know. I saw things...
I didn't enjoy it.
I saw clips of it and I was like, this looks completely boring. So I don't know why they were, to me, maybe I'm the same as you then.
I didn't enjoy it at all. It's just the same, no different to whacking a ball around. But
like real golf,
literally chasing. Yeah, well, yeah, no, because you don't hit it and then move on and hit it and move on. You're literally kicking it around the whole time. I didn't like it at all.
What's its proper name?
I can't remember.
Turbo Golf Racing.
I got to put that in the notes for when I do that.
I don't know what the racing bit was.
I'm guessing your race to be the first one, are you?
Racing, but yeah, I mean, you could just spend the whole time driving around. I spent most of my time just driving around the course without the ball. I had to go back and get the ball.
But like real golf.
I didn't like it. So that was a disaster. Rumbleverse was a
It's
disaster.
not going well so far, is it?
Infernax. You'll be pleased to know I played this for over an hour. So it's getting.
You played this before, didn't you? Someone's played this before.
Oh,
I played this.
This is a NES Castlevania type roguelike platformer. The first annoying thing is, you're this like you're a knight, and the first annoying thing is side scrolling, but you're fucking scrolling from right to left instead of left to right. I don't know what's going on there. So
It
I've
didn't
come
bother me
across
too much when I played it. It was okay.
It's only the first bit. Once you get into the main sort of thing, you're going backwards and forwards and up and down. It's various. It's multi-leveled. You go down into a cave. It's 2D. You go down into caves or climb up. So you used to go left or right once it sort of opens up a bit. Basically, what's happened is there's some sort of magic's turned the peasants into zombies and monsters, and you have to fight your way back to your home while killing these zombies. If you go off the screen and turn around and come back again, the fuckers are all back, like bloody Zelda style, which is very annoying, especially when you forget that you're supposed to be going right instead of left, and you turn around and go back the way you just come from. So literally, you turn back next to the screen, and all the fuckers are back on the screen again. So I get to a castle. There's a lot of text. You speak to a couple of people, and they mention this monster that they want to kill. So you go and kill this monster, and you only half kill him. He goes off for a little sleep. Then you start interacting and with the people. You go in the tavern to buy something. I didn't have enough money to buy any upgrades, and then you go and speak to someone else about some potions. I didn't have any money to buy any potions, and then you go and speak to some monks who ask for some donations. Apparently, from what I can gather, everything you do there's 4 different endings, and one's like a complete like a Jesus doing everything right sort of thing, or you can be nasty. But each thing you do with each person you meet will add up to one of the 4 endings. It was all right. I played it for an hour, so it can't have been that bad. I might go back to it. I might not. But the thing that got me was at the start it asks you if you want it on like normal or sort of more hold your handy. If it's on normal, you don't get any, or you get very little saves. So I started on that, and I got to a point and saved. Basically, you just click on this shrine and you save, and you get your health back. And then next time you die, you go back to that point, usual save points. But I played it for 20 minutes, died, and realised I hadn't seen a fucking health save point, and I went back 20 minutes back to the point that I last was at. So then I immediately changed it to have more save points, but it's still, you could play it for a good 10 minutes without finding a save. You literally get 2 lives, and once you're dead, you don't start from the beginning, or you don't start without, it takes some of your money and it takes some of your whatever you've managed to collect, and then puts you back to where your save point was. So you don't start exactly, you're only a little bit worse off, but you've still got to traipse all the way through all them levels that you've just done with all them monsters all come back again. So you constantly keep killing the same fucking things. It's a bit. I don't think if it was just a platformer, it plays nice. I didn't have any problems with the controls or anything. It's just annoying. It's supposed to be quite in depth. When you look in the menus, there's quite a lot of upgrades and stuff to do.
A lot of people say it's really good. I probably like you, Pilch. I played it and I was like, okay, I see what you're doing here.
It's whether you've got
But,
the inclination to see it through.
yeah, I was just like, I don't
The
know.
couple of monsters I killed, they were they were just walk up to them, whack them, they flash a couple of times, then you walk away, then he does a whack, and then you move back in and you hit him a couple more times, and you walk back away from it. There wasn't really anything
It's no Elden Ring then.
technical. I didn't have to roll around and stab him in the arse. No, not technical. It's just pretty mundane, really. It's quite gory. There's quite a bit of blood when they're killing you, but I don't think I'll go back to it. I don't know whether. I think it's just a free-to-play game. I don't think it was on.
Is it?
I don't think it was on Game Pass.
I'm sure it's on Game Pass.
No, I think
I
that's
don't
where
think it
I
is.
played it on Game Pass, I think.
Did you?
Yeah,
I wonder why I've only just noticed it then.
$27
Right.
on Steam.
Really?
Really? Fucking hell. That's a lot of money for a NES game. Okay.
No, for a NES game, they were cheap. NES
Well,
games were
a lot
about
of money
60 quid,
now.
weren't
Yeah, no, now I mean, for the equivalent of a NES game. Okay, last thing then. I finally, after buying Forza in, what was that, October? When did we do the
they? Yeah, something like that.
Extra Life? The first DLC came out a couple of weeks ago. So I started playing that. It's, surprise, it's Hot Wheels, which they've done to death before. There's a lot of stuff to do. You get loads of Hot Wheels cars. The first thing, obviously, I've been playing Forza for 8 months or whatever, and we've got millions of cars. Got all the different rank cars. Got like 400 different cars. So I thought that you would just get in the fastest car, blitz everything, get all the 3 stars, and be done. But what they do is you can only use B cars for the first section, and then once you've got enough points, it opens up the A cars and then the S1 cars. So you can't just jump in all your super duper cars. They're all locked. So you have to progress through it. It's almost a separate game, really. You've still got the cars you've unlocked.
So do you just your normal cars, or is it not completely different cars as it's Hot Wheels?
They've got Hot Wheels cars. You win Hot Wheels cars by doing the events. So I've got about 10 of them already. But all your other cars are also in it. It's all the same things. The first thing the tracks are pretty good. You talked about speed. One of the tracks I was doing 400 miles an hour.
Oh.
It was just absolutely flying through. Shut up, Daisy. Right, Daisy's just come back from London from yet another concert. What's his name? Will Joseph Cook. Anyone know who Will Joseph Cook is?
No.
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 Bill Cook.
No. He's a singer or something.
Like
Anyway, Daisy, go away. You're making a noise. So I've played it for about 6 or 7 hours, and I've done about 50% of it. I've found it's the usual stuff. There's some boards to find, and there's all the tracks to drive on. I've done all 175 tracks or roads. But the problem I've got, it doesn't look like the original game. The cars look just half-assed. One of the main things about the Forza cars is they look absolutely gorgeous. These just look like they're not rendered properly, and the tracks don't look brilliant.
So is it?
They've just
How do they do it? How does the DLC work then? Is it just a completely new environment, or is it?
Yes, you go to a point on the map and click on it, and it takes you out of
to the sky.
area.
So it could, in essence,
it's above. You can look down. You can look down and see
Can you fall off the sides?
Mexico below you. If you fall off, you just fall into lava or something, and then have to. But it's got a flaw. It's got its own. How do I explain it? If you're just going around and there's nothing below you, you can see all the way down to Mexico. But you are on like a volcano. So there are parts you can drive, you can go off certain points on the track, you can drive off it and go around the environment. So they've got they've got the usual thing, they've got a snowy area. There's 3 zones. But if you drove off of that, you just keep falling and it resets you. But you can see Mexico down if you sort of go into photo mode or something and look. It's like, thousands of feet below you.
Right.
It's very good for the money. I'd say I think I paid about 30 quid for the DLC. I don't know what there's another DLC to come. I don't know what it is. I don't know when it's coming out, but they've got to bring it out before Forza 8 comes out, surely, before Motorsport comes out. But if you said 10 quid for this, 10 quid for the next DLC, and 10 quid for all the cars and the double XP and all the shit that I got on the first when it come out, 30 quid ain't a bad price for it. I've played it for about 7 or 8 hours, and I've probably got as much time left to finish it. It's not doing anything different. It's just the tracks obviously there's loads of loops. You go around corkscrews and different things, and it flies. I put it on performance, and it's only 60 frames though. If you put it on quality, it goes down to 30 frames, but it just don't look anywhere near as good. It's like they've just half-arsed it. I don't know, just don't look right.
Becoming a frame rate snob now.
Yeah. Well, when you're going that fast, when you're doing like 400 mile an hour, 30 frames looks
a bit chunky.
horrendous. Yeah. But
So a lot of
even when you put it on.
Well, I was asking about the cars. So you're saying the cars look a little bit on the shonky side, but are that all those cars are made up cars? Are they from Hot Wheels? Like, I don't
they're
know.
all the cars that you've got in the normal Forza.
So why do they look shonky then?
I don't know. And you can't. The views, like when you look from behind the car, the chase view. I think there used to be 3, and you can almost get right up to the bumper. You can't get that close on the Hot Wheels. I know there's a field of view slider.
Is that
I don't
because
know whether
your view would be restricted because the cars are too big? Like, have you ever played Forza Motorsport with the racing trucks? Like, you have to brace in the cockpit, otherwise you can't fucking see where
because
you're
the cars are the same cars. It doesn't. I don't think the tracks aren't any slimmer than a road.
Right.
I don't see what difference it would make. But I haven't. They made a big thing of it when it started up about all the field of view. So whether you can bring that car, change the field of view, and bring that car closer to you. But
you
then you obviously
to fuck around with the chase camera to you could just go into the settings and actually change all of the distances and shit. I think.
I don't think you could do it on. I don't think you could. You could point. You'd have 3 points that you could move it to.
Yeah, but I think if you went into
the
maybe it's a PC
cockpit, and then it would.
Yeah. I'm sure there's extra options.
But it's definitely got field of view. So there's quite an interesting little bug though, because I like to photo the cars, get the achievement for the cars. I've photographed like 500 cars so far. When I don't know why it was doing it. You know when you do rewind, it rewinds to a point, then stops and asks you if you want to rewind a bit further. For some reason, once you got to the point of do you want to go some more, it started going forward again. And I thought, well, this is a bit weird. There's obviously something wrong here. But then when I was in races and I saw a car that I hadn't photographed, or I just paused the game. When you pause the game, it stops everything, doesn't it? The game pauses. So you can piddle about, look in the menus, do what you want. Not this. I paused the game because Lisa called me up for something. She wanted me to print some tickets off because they're going to a show tomorrow. I paused the game. When I come downstairs, the game had finished and I was crashed on the side of the road. So I thought, hang on, I'm pretty sure I fucking paused it. So I started that race again because I'd come last. saw a car that I hadn't seen before, went to pause it to take a photograph. The fucking cars just kept driving off. I
That
was
sounds like
I was in the
always
I was in the
online type
pause.
of thing.
I was in the pause. Yeah, it was like I was racing real people,
Mm.
and so I couldn't pause the game. I had to finish the race before I could stop, because if I paused it, they kept going, and I just crashed into the wall. God knows what was going on there.
Mm.
So whether they only started doing it today, I don't know. There's obviously a bug in it somewhere. I weren't playing online, so they weren't real people. But Christ knows.
Yeah, could be.
But
A
it's still
reason for it.
Forza. Still playing it. Definitely getting my money's worth out of it. I keep going on every now and then and having a little bash, and so yeah, it's good. Just don't look right.
And do they have,
might have a little-
because it's Hot Wheels, do they bring any sort of like funny cars?
Yeah, every the original Hot Wheels cars, you win the cars that they've made over the time.
Are they got any,
They're
right?
telling you the story as you're doing. I don't know Hot Wheels, so I wouldn't know.
Well, I
But
mean, Hot Wheels has
they're
been around since I was a kid, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
They
some.
will. Well, as
And I
you
have-
progress the story,
And I have Hot
tell
Wheels
you-
that like have engines that bounce up and down on the front of them, or
Mhm.
have massive back wheels
Yeah.
and things like that. So they have classic
Right.
stuff
They
like
have
that
shit
from
like that.
toys.
Hot
Yeah,
rods.
yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
They've all apparently the named cars that you would know are in it,
Oh,
and
that's
they're
neat.
telling the story as you're progressing the story. They're telling you the history of Hot Wheels. They put you in one of the cars and they
Do you
start telling
think-
I'll drive from here to there, and they start telling you all about how it was when this car was made. You know who designed it, blah, what influenced it, all that sort of
Okay.
rubbish.
That's
So
pretty
that
cool.
side of it's quite interesting.
As this is a British developer, why don't they use Matchbox? Do you reckon that's going to be the next one?
They've
Matchbox cars?
always no, because they've always
Hot Wheels
done,
is an international
they've done
brand.
Hot Wheels before.
Is Matchbox
Match-
did not make it out of the UK?
Matchbox definitely made it out of the UK, but I don't know how much of a pull they would have in America. Like
Well, they
Hot
just look
Wheels
like
is
normal
like
cars,
it's like in the you think Hot Wheels, you think Toys R Us, you know.
But they said
Yeah.
it was. Oh Christ! They said it
Matchbox doesn't
started
have
in the
that.
80s or 70s, but
Yeah, I
I
can believe that. Yeah.
don't really
Well, we had
remember.
Matchbox cars because we were in
buying-
England. We didn't
Yeah,
have
see,
Hot
I was in
Hot
Canada
Wheels.
when I was a kid, and they had Hot Wheels when I was a kid, right? So they were definitely around in the 70s.
Didn't have Hot Wheels came with all the crazy track stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think my younger brother might have had some Hot Wheels stuff, but we just used to push the cars along the carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they had all those things.
Did you
where
not
you
have
had to wind up tracks and-
rollout maps? Did you ever roll out map?
I
like the
didn't.
town?
No, we just used to push them along the.
Yeah.
We used to just see like
Who could throw them at the wall the hardest?
Yeah, we used to play like penny against the wall, but with cars. Got go at one end of the room, and well, I'd say used to. Jack's got a massive, massive box of toys, cars from the Cars movie. He's got about 300 cars, and we used to play that with him all the time.
Oh, they
Just
must keep you
push
up all
them
night, them things.
Well, not now. He's 20, 21.
Oh, they're always
He's not
chatting,
playing
aren't they?
more. Oh, chat! Oh God, here we go.
I loved Cars. I think it's a great movie.
That first movie was
Cars 2 and
that's
3
one
not
of
so
the
good.
best films.
I know
No,
loads
not
of
good.
people slate the first Cars movie. They don't have any time.
No,
for
I
that.
thought that's one of the best Pixar films I've seen.
I
That
agree.
and Toy Story. It's just such a good story. Been told a million times before, but that was brilliant. I
It
think.
was just really well done. Everything they did was really
Yeah.
well done.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's me done. I'm done. I
right.
probably played some other shit that I can't remember.
Okay. Anyone kept an eye on Twitch? We'll just give some shout outs if there's anyone in the Twitch.
I can see we've had Kev Highland Caper in, Arnie Army, Mark has been in, Sumu was in early with who else was there? Someone else? Oh, I can't see anyone else. Any lurkers? Arnie's still lurking, but don't know about the rest of them.
We're that desperate. We're looking for lurkers now.
Well, lurkers are important. They might not chat, but they're there, supporting you by watching.
True. You're so wise, oh learned Neil.
I heard someone else say that. It wasn't me.
Pilch, you want to do Dave's final?
Well, I'll have to, won't I? I haven't got it written. I'm only going on to show notes. I haven't got his special notes.
Yeah, you just
You have to say thank
Um,
you for listening to the Seal podcast. If you'd like to get
yes,
in
thank
touch
thank
with
you
you.
us.
for listening to the Seal
Shh,
podcast.
I'm doing it. I'm fucking
Yeah.
doing it.
I'm just doing my
Shut
Dave
up, innit?
impression. You're still going to do yours. You got to do your own spin on it.
I'm thinking of what Dave said earlier now, what he's up to in Wales.
Uh-oh.
Don't.
Can't get it out. Right. Okay. Thank you for listening to the Seal podcast. If you would like to get involved, you can email the show on sealpodcast@gmail.com. We have a Twitter account @sealpodcast, a Twitch account, which we sometimes, one of us or all of us, are active on Twitch. That is Seal Podcast. Everything we do on Twitch at some point ends up on YouTube, so you can watch it 3 days later. That is Seal Podcast as well. We have a Discord channel. It's very active at the moment. I'm laying it on there. I'm trying to get the job. That is the Seal.
I like your
Podcast.
style.
I think that's about it. Thank you everyone for paying attention this evening, and hand you over to the boss.
Try to tell Pilch how he guarantees getting Dave's slot, what he has to do.
Oh, dear.
It'll be a Me Too movement before you know it. All right,
Oh,
then.
see us out, phrase, Christ's sake.
Okay. Thanks very much, everyone. It was a pleasure to have you all here today. Dave will catch up with you next week. Pilch, Neil, thank you very much, guys. Everyone else, thanks for listening. We'll catch up with you next week.
See ya.
Laters.
Later, taters.